Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Elite Racing Network for the SMRI Productions Bristol Night Race. And it looks like we are not going on YouTube. There it is. With that, I am your host, David Westergreen. With me today is Sam Dyer. Sam, I think we're expecting a bit of a crash fest here this evening.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what we're expecting. 500 laps here at Bristol as qualifying is underway. Excitement's in the air to see where these drivers are going to be placing themselves as we're going to be switching ourselves to Joshua Clark, who's just sitting in pit road, but expecting to see the drivers on our list to be switching up throughout this race, setting up through qualifying as all the drivers on track trying to put their best time. They've got 2 laps to do their best, as it's going to be Marcus Frickeneck top of the board at the moment as Ethan Burrell steals it away just as I said that.
Trying to fix some shoppiness here on the production side of things. We've got Jordan Owens on track now, the kind of the host sponsor of today's race, the SMRI Productions Bristol Night Race. We are doing 500 laps at Bristol this evening, and that's a full length race at Bristol. I think anything can happen over the course of a 500 lap race.
Yeah, good thing we iRacing giving us a good margin of time to work with. 4 hours and 55 minutes if needed. We're hoping that this race will be done in about 3.5 hours, but it's going to be a long one. David, hopefully you've got your popcorn, some water ready. I've got my water here ready for this race because it is going to be a very long race to see where this is going to go. Joshua Adams on screen in the 90. Is it the 95 that he's in?
Yes.
Rocking in right there.
Yep.
Ooh.
95 Best Buy Chevrolet Camaro, and Adams definitely maybe one of the favorites for the pole. There's a little bit of a glitch here at Bristol. If you kind of ride it up next to the wall and bounce off of it, you can go a little bit faster. Adams not employing that in 3 and 4. We'll see what his lap time comes out to here.
Yeah, Adam was fourth fastest, but we're going to remove one of those times. I think Joshua
Yep.
Clark used the wall riding tactic, kind of gave that 20 machine an advantage that
Ooh,
a lot of drivers are going to be aiming to try to utilize. As Adams, I think
hit the wall
might have
again.
brushed the wall.
Yep,
Yeah,
hit the wall coming to the line there. You saw it, and therefore Josh Adams not going to be able to put a time down. Tough break. You're going to have to be very careful with that here at Bristol. And I think we're going to be seeing guys bouncing it off the wall a number of times between the maybe an attempt at that wall riding glitch as well as just naturally hitting the wall coming off these tight corners. I think these guys are going to be really loose today.
yeah, that loose sensation from the middle of the corner off. That's where the drivers really have to worry about their throttle control. If you get on the throttle too soon, you're going to be looping this car around. That back end just wants to twirl itself. As you got Damian Langer, who's going to be now on screen, trying the best. Right now, it's the 90th Scott Crump, top of the board, beating out Burrell.
Yep, and
As,
Damien goes to second on the board. This 12 Lake Norman Motorsports Batflip podcast car should be one of the favorites tonight. Damien's pretty good here at Bristol, short track racer um, down in Bakersfield, California, and he doesn't improve on his time. But Ryan Lutz is on track, and I think he just finished his lap. He'll be fourth fastest. This is, I think, the car that everyone's watching out for today.
yeah, Ryan Letts, odds-on favorite from everyone. Ethan Burrell, favorite that I'm back in the booth. I think every single time I've been in the booth, he's been up in the top three. So excited to see how that one goes. But David, it's going to be a fun race. It's qualifying soon to come to an end. 10 seconds to go.
Yep, doesn't look like anyone else is on track. Maybe Harrison Talon in the 23 car, but no one else taking the pole from Scott Crump, the 90 on the pole for the open driver. I think we are going to have a heat race. Not sure if that'll be scheduled or skipped. We'll have to find out here in a little bit.
Looks like it's going to be skipped. I
Excellent.
believe we're going to go straight into the 500 lapper here at Bristol.
And so everybody will line up, and we will throw on the starting grid for today's race. It'll be Scott Crump and David Tooker on the front row for Crump. I think that's his second pole in a row. He won the pole on Monday in the Elite Series. No, it was Sunday in the Truck Series. He didn't win it on Monday. Tooker, I think, actually won the pole on Monday. So a couple of guys who are qualifying very well right now. Damian Leininger, Ethan Burrell, they're second and third, or third and fourth rather. Row 2, row 3, Hank Steinmiller and Ryan Lutz. Lutz starting sixth. He's going to have to come from a little bit further back in the field.
Yeah, fifth place isn't a bad spot for Lutz. I mean, it's close enough to the up front. It is going to be a little bit of a struggle to make passes here. A lot of drivers, they want to stay in the high lane and try to get that kind of you're hitting the middle point of the corner and just diving down into these straightaways.
Yep, we look here through the top 10, and then I'll go ahead and throw on the board. Well, it's still not throwing the results on quite as I would prefer them, so we'll scroll through the board once again. Jared Rexing and Harrison Talon outside the top 10, just barely. Harrison was pretty fast at North Wilkesboro on Sunday in the trucks, finished second to Ryan Lutz. I would expect to see this 23 car maybe making some waves with that Bubba Wallace paint scheme. Here in row 7, Gerald Campbell, 2019 B champion for the Elite Cup Series, and Josh Robin. Teammates there, I believe. Tyler Dixon, and there's R.C. Anderson. He is on a roll right now. He won Monday in the Home Place Beer Series for the second time in a row. So R.C. really putting together a good season. Won last week, or 2 weeks ago, I think, at Auto Club in the Cup Series as well. So R.C. really starting to put on a clinic for these guys. Got crashed out last week at Watkins Glen with about 5 laps to go. Tyler Dixon sporting a new paint scheme today as well for his home race. Dusty Dewar, Jordan Owens here, and then rounding up the top 20 will be Caleb Thompson and Tate Lytle.
I think Caleb Thompson, I think he's one of those underdogs. Yes, he's in the middle of the field, but certainly a driver to watch out for as formation lap is underway. About to get going green here for 500 laps. It's going to be a long one, but certainly chaos about to be ensued here.
I think so. We got to be worried about these guys wadding them up every lap. There's going to be chaos throughout the day, without question. And how many green flag laps can we go? I don't think fuel's ever going to be in question. The car's going to be out from under these guys a good portion of the day, and there's going to be contact going for passes. We've seen these guys race at Bristol, last year's All-Star race that was won by that 36 of Ryan Lutz. Dominated that one. We'll have to see if anybody has anything for him today.
Pace car still going around as we're about to go green here for the SMRI production Bristol Night Race. Pace car is off and green flag out in the air.
Yep, Scott Crumps brought him down a little bit slow. You saw it checked up Ryan Lutz ever so slightly. And that'll open the door for the field to kind of bottleneck up here as Gerald Campbell bounces it off the wall to start the race.
These guys going to keep trying to keep it smooth right now and doing a great job up front. It's really that mid-pack all completely accordioned and trying to keep it as clean as possible.
The fact that we've run 2 laps in a row here under green is pretty remarkable. We've had a couple of big caution fest races. Milwaukee a couple of weeks ago, the Elite Racing Series just didn't seem to be able to put together a number of green flag laps. Looks like these guys are already able to get into the rhythm a little bit and click off some laps. I think that's great for the series and how we've gone so far. As David Tooker looks to kind of run down Scott Crump. 19 car looks a little bit faster right now.
Yeah, and if you're looking quick, trying to figure out how to get to the inside, everyone's staying single filed out, and that's what's really helping this field to stay green as they're trying to stay single file. But here comes David Tooker to the inside. That 19 machine looking quick and still going to be holding it to the inside strong, door to door as they're coming out of 4.
Crump holding serve for now on David Tooker. The bottom lane will be the lane you want to pass on, but the top lane is going to be the lane you're going to generate the most speed in. The carry down these front straightaways and back straightaways is just too much for that inside lane. You really have to be on their back bumper in order to make that slide job pass.
Yeah, you kind of have to follow the car in front of you for a bit, and then once you feel like you've got enough momentum, you just send it to the inside and hope that slide job sticks. A lot of drivers yesterday trying out the Bristol Dirt Race. They're back to asphalt, and it's a little different as the drivers have to stay high. It's where that speed is, and That's why we're seeing everyone as high as they are. The problem, though, is with everyone staying so high and trying to hit that apex at the highest point of the track to carry the speed down these straightaways, it's going to be hurting them if they touch the wall. But David, with having 38 drivers on track, the leaders have already caught up to lap traffic.
Yeah, that's what's going to happen here. I'm real impressed with your guy Ethan Burrell as well, running third. We're going to see these guys have to pick their way through traffic all night long, especially in a 500-lap race. And navigating that traffic patiently is what's going to create both problems and the success if you're able to actually make it through. And you see Scott Crump up on Josh Personette already. Just 11 laps into this one, and with such a long strung-out field, that's kind of natural that you're going to get kind of a conveyor belt. A lot of guys going multiple laps down. We've seen races at Bristol where guys go 3, 4, 5, even 6 laps down early in the race if you're not up to snuff.
And, David, we talked about this before the broadcast went live, the possibility of these lap cars being something to worry about as the lead lap drivers catch up to the end of the field.
Looks like Kendall Noah Players had a problem there. Yeah. He's going to go a lap down in the 94 car. Coming up on a guy I really kind of thought was going to be one of the ones to show off today, and actually I think he's several laps down already. He might have missed the start. Vincent Isabella, this 42 car, kind of difficult for him. He was the fastest car besides Ryan Lutz in our all-star race, just not picking up with the setup. I think he also has a steering issue with his wheel, and I know that all too well. I've had a steering wheel malfunction cost me a couple of consecutive races, so definitely feeling for Vincent Isabella tonight, already 3 laps down.
Yeah, wheel issues in real life certainly can be one of those unexpected circumstances that just pop up, and it's just like real life racing. As oh boy, Leininger, or was that Isabella? I think that was Isabella. Yep. That got completely out of shape, and they're gonna be off course.
Gonna have to go to the pit road and solve the wheel issue. I mean, oh gosh, tough break for Vincent. I hate for him. Knew he had a really good chance at running well today, and he was kind of planning on really putting forward a good run tonight. So tough break. Trying to watch Ryan Lutz's progress through the field. He's running with his teammates here, Damian Leininger and Hank Steinmiller, and Marcus Frucknicht behind Chad Frankenfield. So that's a Rich Marsh sandwich with a lot of Lake Norman bread there.
Yeah, when you're around teammates here to short track, you're kind of getting nervous because you never know when someone's going to make contact. Yellow flag out in the air, and it's going to be Chris Jordan spun around on the backstretch.
Pretty rough start for ID Racing. Got Jordan wrecked, got Isabella sideways, and Shane DiMantova did not make it to the racetrack tonight. So, tough breaks to start ID Racing's night. We'll jump on and watch Chris Jordan here. Looks like he may have hit the inside wall hard.
Yeah, just got loose at it too, into the inside wall extremely hard, and actually launching that vehicle back into the racing surface, which brought out the yellow.
Yep. Tried to give Josh Robin a little bit of room, but it wasn't meant to be, and Jordan creates the first yellow flag. Only 5 cars go 1 lap down, including Jordan himself. I think Kendall Noah Player is going to get the free pass, so that'll work out for the 94 car, or one of our race winners from a couple years ago.
Also looking at the back of the pack, Mark Riblas looked like he put a couple of laps down, but had a huge damage on the 93 machine. Still in pit road, trying to get service done and trying to hope to get repairs done in time to get back out there on course. Luckily, it's 500 laps, so there is time to get repairs done, but this is a huge mess up to have so early in this race.
Yeah, it's to my belief, it's either you go out really early, or you run the whole thing and you finish it off and you run well. That those are kind of your 2 options. You don't want to run to the very end and then crash out and feel kind of disappointed. That'd be the worst thing for me. If you're gonna have any problems, you should have them now.
Yeah, I mean, early on, you have that opportunity. If you go a lap down, doesn't mean your race is completely over. It just means you're certainly going to have a challenge. I think Vincent Isabella was hoping to at least be the first car 1 lap down after missing the start of the race to get back on the lead lap. Not going to be able to do so just yet. We did have 4 cars coming into the pits during this caution, though. That's going to be Dustin Doerr, as well as Rusty Kemp, as well as Joshua Adams, and that will be your 4 drivers.
I think Zishan Dura came down pit road as well, but Yeah, we got 4 guys come down. I think it's a pretty reasonable strategy to take some tires here early in this one and see if you can't maybe get off strategy a little bit. But you are going to be doing that at the cost of track position, and that's going to be a big problem for you, I think. One guy looking at that we were kind of monitoring moving forward, Ryan Gavel here in the 1 car. I'm trying to get him centered on screen there. The Bristol cameras layout is just very difficult, very tight and narrow. So if we're not centered on the guy we're talking about, our apologies here. But Gavel coming up through the field, already up to 16th place. He was outside the top 20 at the start of the race. So good run forward for Ryan Gavel. Points leader right now.
22nd. Yeah, 23rd, 22nd up to 16th. And our most consistent driver so far, leader of the points. And Gavel certainly hoping to continue his ways. He's averaging a 4, finishing in the top 5. So in all of these races, expecting to continue that on for the one machine.
Yes, I think so too. Ryan's going to be one of those Lake Norman drivers like Ryan Lutz, Damian Leininger, and the various other Lake Norman guys up in the top 10 right now. So he's trying to get up there with his teammates and battle for this win. But for now, Scott Crump takes the bottom on the restart. A curious choice given that the outside is the fastest lane.
If you maybe feeling like you can get a better launch here on this restart to possibly get ahead of David Tooker, this is a very odd pick to be on the inside. The pace car is off, and we're going to be going green.
David Tooker kind of let him get away there. Not sure why he lagged back so much, but 19 will go back up to the top, and the Lake Norman line up top. There's David Tooker, big run off turn 2. He'll take the lead, and we might even hold it in this camera line just so we can see how much action is going on in this Bristol Motor Speedway. They formed that line right at the top of the track next to the wall. Here comes Leininger for 3rd.
Oh boy, Leininger is going to have a great run trying to get by Ethan Burrell. And due to the fact that at the top side there's so many cars up there, they're kind of accordioned up there from 3rd place. Almost giving an opportunity for the 12, but he's got to find space to get back up, but he's not going to be able to do so. Leininger, he might be stuck on the inside and losing ground.
Kind of reminds me of Martinsville when the one single car gets stuck up on the top or the bottom side or the top side there and just freight trains back. Leininger able to find a spot in front of his teammate Marcus Frucknicht. But yeah, scary situation if you're stuck down there. One of the cars that is, I believe that's Matthew Weeks maybe on the bottom there. No, Gerald Campbell in the 31. Getting past, kind of getting freight trained. Can't really find a spot in the line up top.
He's trying to find space, and this is when things get dangerous for the rest of the field because the driver on the inside, they're looking for that little spot to put their nose in to get up front or make space to get onto the high side, and possibly could cause calamity for the cars around them if they are not clear to come up high.
Man, Tyler Fode backed up Chad Frankenfield and Jared Rexing ever so slightly there in turn 3. Things are just going to happen so fast that we're not going to be able to cover it all. You're just going to have to be able to watch and see and kind of hope and pray your favorite driver makes it through to the next round here. Weeks and Harrison Talon try to get up and around Gerald Campbell. You can see the inside line can maintain with the top, but it really can't make passes. As we got a battle for 3rd, Ryan Lutz after Ethan Burrell.
Oh boy, here's the time to try to make your pass. As Ethan Burrell tried, and Lutz just poking his nose, not able to make the pass just yet. But Burrell's just going to be holding strong on where he is at right now on the high side. And you got to remember, we are doing stage racing. Stage 1 comes to an end on lap 125.
Now,
so these drivers all pushing to that marker.
Now, we do have note that there will be no stage cautions. We assume, and we've already gotten one caution here in the books, that we'll be getting plenty of cautions. We don't need those additional cautions at the stage breaks to kind of further slow the pace of a 500-lap race. So they'll be awarding points at lap 125 and lap 250. And then, of course, at lap 500, the end of the race. First battle in the field is back here for 8th. That's Chad Frankenfield trying to go around Tyler Fode. And he has to back off and kind of put it back in line. Chad maybe feeling a little stuck behind Tyler Fode. These two guys were duking it out for the championship last season. Both 2 members of our Final 4. Chad came out on top in that one.
I mean, these two have been duking it out for the past 2 seasons, really. Mm-hmm. They have not really let up at all. Still up front, the battle for 3rd place.
It's now a battle for 4th place as Ryan
mean-
Lutz has passed Ethan Burrell. Marcus Fruchnick trying to follow suit. That 36 car is bad fast.
Yeah, I mean, the big thing that I was seeing is, oh gosh, cars are dropping quick as huge calamity coming out of 2. Yellow flag out in the air.
All right, we'll have to see if these guys come up on the accident site here. I think they are. And if you can hand me a name or two that's involved in that, we'll go back and take a look.
Looks like that might have been. Looking
Maybe
back,
Scott Haney, maybe Zishan.
I think it might have been around those guys. It was in the back half of the field.
Let's go to the iRaceOnline.com replay and take a look, see if we can't find what happened to bring out this caution. Looks like maybe it was, a lot of strange happenings there, but I think only Josh Personet went around. I'm trying to find if anybody else went around.
I think that was only Personet, as he just came in super quick and almost took out Joshua Adams.
Here's Chuck Sweeting spinning sideways, bouncing off of Michael Goodman, but you see Personet, and I can't see Personet down there at the bottom, but we'll go back and Personet slid it sideways to avoid that incident. And we'll grab another angle on that one.
Yeah, I mean, it was coming into corner number 1 where you saw Sweeting have his issue, but then it was Personet just coming in and not recognizing that drivers were backing off because of the spin in front of them, running dead into Joshua Adams and spinning that car around, bringing out our yellow.
I think it's all right there. I think that's kind of a no harm, no foul caution. Chuck Sweeting with an incredible save, and then we'll watch Josh Personet here get on the brakes a little late. Does get on the brakes, though. Doesn't just run over Adams. Both guys are able to save it. No damage, no harm, no foul. And we're moving on at Bristol.
Leader coming into the pits as we have part of the field staying out still. With Scott Crump coming in with Ethan Burrell, and Gerald Campbell, Matthew Weeks, Johnny Thomas, and others following suit into pit road, giving Ryan Lutz, David Tucker, and Marcus Frickeneck your top 3.
Oh, man, I don't know if I would have pit out of the lead, man. This is such a track position race. You really want to find that sweet spot where you can make a pit stop without losing any of that track position. Willingly giving up the lead after you've led every single lap that Scott Crump has done so far. I just don't know that that's going to be the right call. We'll have to see if Crump is able to make it back up, but only 40 laps and a good number of them run under caution. I don't know if there's going to be a benefit to that, or if it may involve Crump getting run into on the track, coming back from now 18th place.
Well, the only thing that I possibly could see is there was a little bit of fake out coming into pit road that got Crump thinking he needed to come in because everyone else was, but also could be a thought of, fuel to try to stretch your fuel mileage out to make sure that this is your pit stop to make it to that stage. And get the best stage points. I mean, that's one of the strategies that can be thrown out. But if we have continuous cautions coming out with drivers trying to get up front as quick as possible, up front, Ryan Lutz, David Tucker, and everyone else in our top 10, they honestly could stay where they're at and still have enough fuel to make it.
Yeah, the fuel won't be an issue. And you see, there's the fake out. Crump heads to pit road. Lutz and Tucker head out. Burrell remains committed. So, with that, we will get ready to go live and back green. Ryan Lutz will now have the lead, though, and that's bad news for the rest of the field.
His car pulls off. Ryan Lutz gets us under green once again. As Damian Langerker are going to be following suit. David Tucker, Fody, and Frickeneck all trying to figure out how to get back in line onto the high side, but they'll still stay side by side.
That was the Lake Norman restart right there. 3 in a row up top, and Ryan Lutz, Damian Leininger, and Tyler Fody all fired off at the same time. Clearly counted it down there, and that was some teamwork in action. As we watched kind of that group, they work together real well. I know I'm a part of their truck series team. We finished 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 at Daytona earlier this year, and through all that through the teamwork aspect, and these guys are really good at it.
As Chad Frankenfield and others all cut up in this thing, and now it's all parking lot entering corner number 1.
Ooh, my, oh my. Yep, big junk there. That was the Bristol we've expected. It's like Harrison Talon and Chad Frankenfield, the two maybe that get the worst of this. And we are going to definitely hit the iRace Online replay and take a look at what happened there. Oh,
boy, I mean, I'm trying to figure out who exactly started. I think it was Chad Frankenfield bouncing.
Chad and Hank Steinmiller, two guys who do not like each other. And then you see Harrison taking out, there's points leader Ryan Gavel and Scott Crump, the former leader, involved in the wreck and involved hard.
And there's no fast repairs for these drivers, so that damage that you are grabbing from this part of the race.
Look, more drivers down here. Dustin Dewar, Caleb Thompson as well. This is a big crash. Big crash. A lot of cars taken out in this one are heavily damaged.
Just making a parking lot out there.
Yeah. And
this is a hard one.
Let's go. I think we should go on board with Scott Crump because this is going to be maybe a little devastating. Watching this is a car that was leading the race not 2 laps ago. Smoke, car in front of you. Nowhere for Scott Crump to go and out of that wreck, and big damage on the nose of that machine. Not going to drive like it did out front.
I mean, this is what you were talking about, David. I mean, the fact that if you were going to pit, you put yourself in danger being in the middle of the field. If something happens, it's going to be hurting you. Race control deeming this a netcode caution, so no one going to be officially hit with an EOL, but certainly a lot of cars affected by this caution, and it is going to be probably parking a lot of vehicles here today. We already have a couple of drivers that have parked it officially. Chris Jordan, as well as Matthew Weeks, have parked it looks like, being our first DNFs of the race.
You can definitely see the net code right there, and I'll hit another quick response here. But as we kind of get it right here, the net code will pull Chad Frankenfield's car into the wall. He certainly wasn't attempting to make that move, just a bit extra damage. You see Andrew Rucker with damage, Josh Clark with damage, Alec Balvans with damage.
And looks like our top 9 all still have not pitted, feeling comfortable right now with track position. And I think after that wreck, feeling like, hey, I do not want to put myself in any type of danger. We just saw, Scott Crump, our pole sitter, who was dominant up front, now caught up in this wreck. This is a hard one for a lot of these drivers to swallow, especially since we haven't even hit the 100 lap marker, and this is a 500 lap race.
The 2 guys who got through there that I noticed are 10th place Johnny Thomas, 11th place Ethan Burrell. Those 2 guys snaked their way through that wreck. Looked like it happened maybe just on the right side of the race for Tate Lytle and Jordan Owens. They'll be in the top 10 as well right now. But definitely impressive for our points leader before last week, Johnny Thomas. Johnny had a bit of trouble at Watkins Glen. Lost the points lead, but he's still one of those guys who should be, a lock for getting in on points based on his early season returns. Just needs to keep going, and missing a crash like that is certainly a way to get it done.
Yeah, and for a lot of these drivers, yes, you might be heavily damaged, but as long as you have full power in your engine, you still got a shot to have a really good race here at Bristol, because it's not about the aero, really how pretty your car looks. As long as you got power, you got 4 wheels, you got a shot to run up front.
I think you're absolutely right about that. Tough break for guys like Matthew Weeks, who has gone off track. Chad Frankenfield now a lap down. Ryan Lutz will fire off. He won't have the benefit of his teammates behind him, though. Now it's Jared Rexing behind him. Green flag back out. Lutz goes.
That 12 got a great launch, keeping it side by side here for the lead.
I wonder.
Almost had a shot there.
I wonder if Ryan Lutz might not be trying to get his teammate a lap lead here. Maybe a bonus point. Nope, not what he's going for there. Maybe just trying to pull them out in front so that Leininger can get up in front behind Lutz, but in front of Rexing, and Lutz and Leininger will be 1-2 for Lake Norman Motorsports. Took her back up to 4th, though. I think if anybody might have something for Ryan Lutz, it might be that 19 car. He is fast when he can get to the back bumper of these guys up top.
Yeah, but it's going to be that battle for 6th place. Tate Lytle, Tyler Fody, they're side by side, and Fody continues to drop back. And this is where things get concerning, because we're about to see 3 wide action back for 7th place.
Josh Robin thought better of it, and that's a great move by Robin. Keeps the wheels on it. Jordan Owens behind him, Rusty Capel, and then Brent Jones and Michael Goodman running up here in the top 15. Taking advantage of that wreck, moving forward. We're getting to see some names we don't always see up at the top group of the Elite JoinAPS Cup Series. And that's pretty cool to see, as Marcus Frucknick does go around David Tooker for 5th place, and Tate Lytle now on the charge behind his teammate.
Yeah, and Tate Lytle making a great charge in that 56 machine. Lytle, one of those drivers that people were expecting to have a better run, who started back in 20th place, up to 6th. A great charge for
Here
himself.
he comes.
Also for Johnny Thomas, who moved up from 29th up to 7th.
I think these guys are really loving the new tires as well. I think Lytle and Thomas both have new tires, and they're using those to move and carve through the field, certainly as they want. You can make moves on the bottom when you have that fresh rubber. David Tooker doesn't have that fresh rubber right now, and it seems like he and Tyler Fode are really suffering the most from that.
Yeah, and even on that last previous restart compared to this one, David Tooker was really starting to drop back, having issues with grip, and continues to fall back. But those drivers that are leading with the fresh rubber, that's Johnny Thomas and Josh Robin, right now running in 6th and 7th place.
Yeah, tough break for some of those guys back there. You know, David Tooker probably got spooked out of pitting as he falls back further now into the clutches of R.C. Anderson, as well as Tyler Fode, Jordan Owens, and Caleb Thompson moving forward. Thompson was involved in that last wreck, as was Andrew Rucker in the 64 car. This kind of wide out, spread out view of Bristol, able to kind of show us a wider version of the battles on track. Looks like Crump is able to make some moves with that damaged 90 car. Though back up to, looks like 16th place.
Drivers trying to keep themselves close. Ryan Lutz continues to pull away. But a lot of that side-by-side action for 5th place those are the drivers with the fresher tires. They're trying to take that advantage to move up, and it is certainly helping them. But at some point, these tires will start to equal out, and that grip of fresh tires is going to go away at some point.
Yeah, big battle here but for 5th spot. Johnny Thomas takes it. Ethan Burrell wants it. Burrell now will go around Thomas, though he will not clear. Thomas in that preferred top lane now, and the battle is now for 4th as they have moved in behind Jared Rexing. Ryan Lutz not able to pull away from these guys with new tires, 40, 50 lap newer tires. We didn't know how much of an advantage they would be. I don't think anybody really did, but Ethan Burrell has driven all the way up into 3rd, and now he'll be going after 2nd.
Yeah, Ethan Burrell formerly was up in 2nd place, having a great run for himself. Now he's going to be up to 2nd and continues to just look so strong in that 37 machine. And he's slowly chipping his way up to our leader, Ryan Lutz. He's got to be feeling this pressure now.
Feels good, I think, for sure, as Ethan Burrell to the inside of Lutz. Josh Robin takes 3rd from Leininger, and Thomas takes 5th from Rexing. So positions continue to swap places. Ethan Burrell into the lead in the Bristol Night Race presented by the SMRI Productions.
Yeah, these drivers most likely are now feeling that I wish I took tires feeling. Drivers that took and have the freshest of tires, that's going to be Joshua Adams. But Adams was close to being in contact with some of the damage, right now being trapped back in 13th place as Ethan Burrell continues to pull away, and Ryan Lutz now starts to drop back.
Yep, tough for Lutz now. You know, he told me before the race, I'm going to stay out. I want the track position. It's not going to matter. We're going to have a lot of cautions. Maybe regretting that just a little bit here as he gets bypassed by another car as Johnny Thomas coming after him with that fresh rubber. You feel like just a superhero when you have those fresh tires and the field around you doesn't. It really does make you feel invincible. You can make moves, go to the bottom, go to the top. When you're struggling with that old rubber, you're just kind of praying for the caution to come out and you can go down to pit road.
Now things are going to get scary with our leaders. They've caught up to lap traffic, and the hard thing is that Ethan Burrell is going to be coming up to just a brick wall of drivers as the tail end of this field. They are all side by side and not really giving anyone space as the action everywhere side by side, except for really our front two that continue to just pull away from the rest of the field.
Yep, Johnny Thomas has bypassed Ryan Lutz now and taken over that spot. The guy moving up is Andrew Rucker. Looks like the 64 not terribly damaged from that contact during the big wreck. Yep, can't even see any dents on that 64 car. Might have just scraped the wall briefly, and he is really charged forward now into 5th and looking for 4th on Ryan Lutz.
Yeah, and sometimes you just need a little bit of that luck. Maybe just scraping the wall is much better than just plowing right into another driver. And you know, for some drivers, that's nerve-wracking to have to put your car into the wall, and for others, that's their comfort spot, is to be just being so close to the wall that you're sometimes just grazing it every lap.
Yeah, we got to address this. David Tooker has fallen to 25th, just absolutely screaming for tires on the radio. I'm sure this 19 car having just a miserable time right now, running deep in the field after starting second. Extremely disappointing early on.
Yeah, and then Jordan Owens is the next driver that is not pitted yet. He'll be in 19th place. Fody going to be in 16th place. And you know, got to give credit to those that are trying to stay up. Ryan Lutz still somehow in 5th place. I don't, yes, he's lost positions, but that is probably one of the most shocking things, that we're still seeing some drivers with their oldest tires running up in the top 10.
Yeah, no, Ryan Lutz is a pro at this. He can save tires with the best of them. Those tires are maybe even like 20 and 30 laps newer in terms of the actual percentage that iRacing has ground off than some of those guys around him. But you think we're only 80 laps into this race. We have 420 laps to go. These guys are going to be clicking them away very quickly here now that they've gotten into a rhythm with the green flag run. And I think eventually we'll see some green flag pit stops if this continues. Though I think we will see everyone on pit road for tires after watching this longer run. Guys know now that tires are definitely going to be king. You're going to want fresh rubber as many times as you can get it.
And just like that, we were talking about David Tooker and the woes that he was having. Now we're going to be put one lap down. The first car, one lap down, leaving us with 25 drivers still on the lead lap. And at the pace that we're seeing Ethan Burrell go, he could possibly be putting our top, getting at least 20th on back, one lap down here,
yeah,
probably
Tooker,
in another 20 laps or so.
I jumped away from him, but Tooker just hit the wall as well, man. The 19 car is really struggling. Our second place outside pole sitter, just having a very, very difficult time with this setup and with these tire models, man. Here he comes down pit road. Oh, I think he's going to miss it. Yep.
Whoa, he missed it.
Big issues for David Tooker. Not at all the way he wanted to start the Bristol Night Race. And, we do have drop weeks, but David Tooker was expecting to win last week, and then he got taken out on a restart. So, yeah, Tooker running the apron here. That 19 car seems like it is on ice.
It's just chaos at this point. Bristol is sometimes called the last great Coliseum, and you're seeing it now. Drivers, we got many packs of drivers, so it's different tire sets and when they pitted, and you're seeing it, how groups are just terrified on where they're going to be putting themselves. David Tooker finally was able to woe up and finally going into pit road after the struggle to get into pit lane.
Here's the battle, though. It's Andrew Rucker and Josh Robin for second amongst the lap traffic. We're going to be seeing this kind of battling all night long. These guys are going to be encountering lapped car after lapped car. Bristol is like a conveyor belt. It's just going to keep sending cars at you. Ethan Burrell certainly won't be able to lap a ton of cars, and eventually he'll run out of victims and maybe even get slowed up by some of them.
Yeah, I mean, that is the key. If you can catch a lap car in the right spot, pass them, and most likely ask them to be on the inside if you come up to them and trying to get by as quick as possible, that is the goal. But right now, I mean, Andrew Rucker trying to go to the inside, trying to get by Josh Robin. Robin's still on the high side. He should have the momentum to keep this position coming out of 4 as they still stay door to door coming into turn number 1.
Great battle here, side by side. iRacing just had the update, and we keep seeing this smoke. Not sure who's causing it. I've been looking on the timing and scoring sheet, not seeing anyone dropping drastically down. This battle, though, raging on. Robin and Rucker side by side. Rucker has been really, really strong on these short tracks. Almost won North Wilkesboro last season. And you are seeing a feature that iRacing just put in with that update. They tried to improve the bottom and the top on some tracks. Bristol not one of those. But they also added smoke, very realistic smoke. And that was an attempt to kind of create that smoke that stands and pushes up, creating more of a barrier when those cars spin out. Let's watch fresh tires here and see what they do. Here comes David Tooker on the battle for second, and he's going to try to find a way around. His Rucker might even be able to pull off the pass on Josh Robin.
Yeah, I mean, right now, we talk about lap cars influencing maybe in front of drivers. They also influence them by the pace that they'll have when we see green flag pit stops happen and up into the wall. Rucker hoping that damage doesn't hurt him. Also, brief update, that smoke that we're seeing on track, that is Mark Ribelos that is in pit road.
Ooh, Marcus Fruchnick just hit the wall. Fruchnick just hit the wall after going a lap down. He slides it sideways on the apron, and he manages to save it. What a great save by Fruchnick. He could have taken out Ethan Burrell there.
Oh, Ethan Burrell and others in front. Contact, bring out a yellow.
think Jordan Owens is the one who spun around there. Amazing break for Scott Haney. He had just gone a lap down, and he'll now bring the home place beer number 3 car back to the lead lap with the Lucky Dogs. So a great break for Haney. Not so much for Zishan Dura and Richard Hines. They will go 1 lap down to Ethan Burrell and the rest of the field, who I'm sure will come get tires.
Oh, man. This caution, it's going to be Jordan Owens as well as Brent Jones making contact. David Tooker was watching this battle that was going on, and it looked like Brent Jones bouncing off of the corner exit of turn 2.
Going to try to find it here. And it was in response to the... We'll have to go back a little bit. Oh, boy. We'll have to go back a little bit further to get the Fruchtnick incident as well. Get there here, I think.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like it was just the fact that Brent Jones was thrown off his rhythm with the Fruchtnick incident. And short track racing, it's all about finding your rhythm, and if you get taken off at any point, certainly can put yourself in an awkward situation.
You see Jordan and Brent got side by side with the Fruchtnick incident, and then Brent's going to come off turn 2 and bounce it off the wall and send Jordan Owens spinning to the inside.
Well, with this caution, you talked about it. Most of the field going to be coming in for tires, and tires going to be something interesting to talk about because these drivers, they have a limited set. They've got 10 total sets in pit road for them to utilize here. We've already seen a couple of drivers take a set. Now some of them might be taking their second already, and we're just coming up to lap 100 of 500 here today. A long race to be seen, and some drivers actually going to try to stay out to get points. It looks like Michael Goodman was one of those drivers.
Yep. Good job by Goody.
What a call.
Good call by Goody. Go pick up a lap lead, bring that 44 car down pit road, and the Do Good Motorsports machine will now get serviced and end up on the tail end of the lead lap with his teammate Scott Haney after getting the Lucky Dog. So good effort so far by the Do Good guys. We saw Brent Jones getting involved in that wreck, but he had missed the other one. So yeah, good effort overall for these guys, I think, and we're looking for them to finish strong here.
Ethan Burrell was not excited to see that caution. I mean, he had such a dominant lead.
Ooh.
Feeling comfortable out there?
What happened to RC Anderson? Looks like that car is going to go a lap down.
RC might have been caught with a penalty, possibly.
Oh no! So one of our automatic qualifiers for the playoffs, RC Anderson, he missed the Daytona 500, but that was going to be a car to watch out for. Has dropped a lap to the leaders. He'll now be fighting Scott Crump, Gerald Campbell, Marcus Fruchtnick, among others, to get back on the lead lap.
Yeah, because he came in following Tyler Fody, and Fody's going to be 13th. So I think there might have been a penalty of some sort that hit the 50 machine.
Must have been.
Causing him to be 1 lap down, back in 23rd position. It wasn't an EOL given from race control, so...
Yeah. Entering a closed pit, perhaps? I'm not sure. Regardless.
Entering? Yeah,
regardless, it'll be Ethan Burrell and Andrew Rucker. Ryan Lutz and Damian Leininger will be on the same strategy now as the guys up front. Burrell fires off well.
Burrell, fantastic start. And now you got Josh Robin trying to follow suit. Almost able to get to the quarter panel of the 37.
Ooh, Robin went.
Car already
and Lutz in the wall. Ryan Lutz and Jared Rexing into the wall. Rexing's going to crash the field.
And they're going to be another yellow.
They're going to wipe out Lutz again, and that will spell the end for Ryan Lutz. A heartbreaking defeat there. Oh man, certainly not pleased with the 10 of Rexing either. Those guys just came together there in turn 3.
And that all came around because Jordan Owens tried to get back on track as our leaders were, and it just scattered everyone. They weren't sure where to place themselves, and that outside line trapped, and away they went.
Yep, I think that's exactly what happened. As we'll take a look on Ryan Lutz and Jared Rexing here. They're at the bottom of your screen, and Rexing right there just drives it in too deep. Was looking at the lapped car. It's going to get Damian Leininger as well. Just a heartbreaking corner for Lake Norman Motorsports. RC Anderson's going to get a little bit of damage. Both of the strong Lake Norman cars that ran 1-2 for the first majority of this race out of it just like that.
Yeah, I mean, oh man, we talked about how we thought this was gonna be carnage. There was gonna be a lot of wrecks, but man, that was the quickest one we've had so far. We've had a couple of good green flag runs, a 20 laps. Went for a little bit longer for almost 50 laps, and now this caution.
And you see Lutz was going to try to turn it down and get away and got bounced off of Kendall Noah player and then just shot right into his teammate Damian Leininger. Big damage on those guys, big damage on Leininger as well. Yeah, tough break for everyone involved, and hopefully, we can keep going green. I was talking kind of optimistically there about running those green flag laps felt really nice. They were kind of under control. Yeah, that has gone out the window. Big crash here on the restart, taking out several of our big contenders as well.
The drivers were heated after that accident of up front, and race control actually removing chat options for the drivers just because of how rowdy they were becoming after that one. A crazy wreck to be seen, but we've just passed lap 100, putting us on lap 105. Do want to give a big thanks to all of the major sponsors here. We've got joinaps.com. Thank you so much for being the main sponsor for the Cup Series here in the Elite Racing League. And then we've also got C2 Freights, as well as Richmar Flores, and our primary sponsor for tonight's race, SMRI Productions, for the night Bristol race. Thank you so much for all of our sponsors for helping us do what we do up here in the booth and allowing these drivers to have such a great ride.
While we're here, I want to go ahead and give a shout to maybe my favorite paint scheme of this race as it still runs before it gets the nose torn off of it. This Tyler Dixon paint scheme that he's running for his home track of Bristol, and kind of in commemoration of his dad. We have a Kendall Noah player is right in front of him there in the 94, the K&P Graphics paint scheme of the race. This would be probably my nomination. I love the gold on this car. It looks really clean.
Oh, it's extremely clean of a car, and with great honors, running this Dixon, running in 11th at the moment, and have a great run for himself.
I hope he can do his dad proud, and we're sure he's watching down for it. So thanks for Tyler for helping us out with the league and everything, and hopefully we can go green here and pick up some laps into the books.
Oh boy, I mean, David, it's been a long race so far. Seen a couple of cautions.
A couple of guys. Go ahead.
We're only a fifth of the way here. I mean, how are you feeling about this race so far as we go green?
I'm feeling good. We just need to click off some laps, I think. That incident, I think, was pretty unpreventable. How can you tell that there's a car coming up onto the track entering turn 3 as soon as the restart hits? And what are you going to do? Tell Jordan Owens he can't continue to attempt to run laps and gain spots? I don't see that being a big issue. Maybe Owens could have gone to the apron or something, but this is a preventable issue, and the rest of it has been clean. We've had a big green flag run there where we saw tires come and go, some guys fall off, and it ultimately had turned the race on its head because we've got 2 Lake Norman cars back here with big damage, going to be trying to kind of maybe hope to pick their way back through the field, but in all likelihood, I think those cars are done in terms of competing.
Yeah, trying their best to at least get a decent points day with a little bit of damage that they've collected during today's race. RC Anderson, update for the driver that we were expecting to have a great day here today for the 50 machine in pit road, trying to get heavy damage repair back in 34th position.
Yeah, big, tough break for RC Anderson, but he's a win. He's locked into the playoffs. So is Ryan Lutz. I think the big loser out of all these kind of issues has been the 12 of Damian Leininger. He was going to have a really good day as we are under caution again. Looks...
What's the 0-1?
Like Zishan Duro was involved in that one. Might have been a pretty harmless self-spin. We'll hit the iRace Online replay and take a look as we continue to turn laps down towards the first stage. And yeah, it looks like a little bit of contact here, a little Bristol crash. Oh, and he was checking up for Kendall Noah player sideways in front of him. Did you see that?
Yeah, that's the one thing though is, with the way that these cars are built, you really can't see what's exactly in front of you, and sometimes you don't see the reason why a car's backing up and checking up, and just like that, 0-1 spun around after contact. I believe that was from David Tooker.
Well, The 54 of Tyler Dixon bounced off of Kendall Noah player. That's what started this whole mess. And then, with that, right after that, we saw Zishan get spun by David Tooker, who was not prepared for the checkup. Right here. Boink.
Just so simple. Such a simple tap.
Yep.
Away he goes.
Yep. Got on the brakes just a little bit late, and that's all it takes. I believe Ethan Burrell has not gone down pit road. I think Kendall Noah player and Zishan might have been the only ones. Looks like Jared Rexing and then maybe the Lake Norman guys also have headed down pit road to try to continue to fix damage.
Late time to come in. This is probably one of the worst times to be coming in right now. We're coming close to the end of stage 1 on lap 125. There will not be a stage caution, but we're inching closer and closer to the end of stage 1. Points that could be absolutely necessary to put you into the playoffs that you're just giving up by coming to the pits now.
Yep, for sure. These guys weren't going to get in the points though, and I think that the current top 10, and we'll show it real quick. This is how the top 10 is running. Number of these guys are the guys you'd expect that have made it through all the wrecks. I don't think anyone's really given anything up to go pit here. Looking at the order, everyone in pit road has damage from a crash. So these are the guys right now. I think maybe we'll have to be on the lookout for the race winner to come from that group. Your guy, Ethan Burrell, leading the race. And my guy, one of the ones who's been bounced off the wall a couple times.
You never know how these things are going to go. I know the last time that I was in the booth and Ethan won, he thought I was his good luck. You never know. There's certain things just happen to where certain drivers just catch the fire to win our race. And certainly here tonight, it is a long one. 500 laps for them to run here. And it's such a long race. You have to stay so mentally focused with how quick these laps are just turned around and the rhythm that you got to get into. Sometimes having a lot of cautions can break up that rhythm, and you're just so off if you're running the back half of the field.
Now, speaking of guys who are coming back and who are doing a great job, we mentioned Vincent Isabella's struggles. He was 3 laps down earlier. We kind of talked him out of it. He's back to 24th, 1 lap down, and in position to get by Rusty Capel and get back onto the lead lap. He's right beside him there in the 9 car. Vincent Isabella trying to make a little bit of a comeback here, and I think we got to keep our eye on this 42 car. He has speed at Bristol. We just have to see if he can get back on the lead lap and contend with Ethan Burrell.
This is such a Vincent Isabella type of a race where cautions put him back into contention. All he has to do is wait for the rest of the field to wreck out, and he'll be back up front. Pace car is off, green flag back in the air. Ethan Burrell, Andrew Rucker, bringing us to corner number 1.
There will be 8 laps until the stage break. At lap 125, when we hit 126 on the monitor there, that'll be when the stage hits. Ethan Burrell going to try to win it for Pro Edge Racing.
Caution!
Oh, caution's back out. Zishan
Just
again,
like
it looks
that.
like.
Yeah. Harrison Talon also involved. Multiple cars on the entry of corner number 3.
We will hit the iRace online replay and take a quick look. Brent Jones involved in this one as well. And it looks like Chad Frankenfield might have started it.
Oh, I think Jones got into Talon. Zishan, nowhere really to go in that one.
Let's see here. Chad into Brent, send him into the wall and back down the track to collect Harrison Talon. So tough break for the 89 and 23. Chad kind of impatient there late in the stage.
Well, I mean, Chad, with this caution, Vincent Isabella did get ahead and will be getting the lucky dog position now.
What about that? Vincent Isabella on the lead lap now, and that is absolutely an impressive run back to the lead lap. We saw him having those issues, and he's had these cautions to make things work in his favor, and bringing this 42 car back up to the front of the field. ID Racing with some hope yet to put forth a good finish today after one of their guys was the first caution, and Vincent had to start on pit road and have a number of other steering issues and stuff like that. So, you know, this car doesn't have much damage. We've got to keep an eye on it carving its way through these damaged cars.
Yeah, all you have to do, keep it clean and hope that you can stay respectful. Do have an update, though, due to the fact that Brent Jones has been involved in multiple incidences. It sounds like they are parking that 89 machine for the rest of the night. not going to be able to get a top 30 position. It looked like he was capable of at least the top 25. Not going to be able to do so. Right now, running in 32nd position, might lose that to some other drivers that are still out on track.
Don't know if I agree with that call by the stewards. I'll criticize wherever I need to, but I think that one was on that 15 car. Maybe the other incidents that Brent's been involved in were enough, but that specific one, not on him at all. 15 drove up off the corner and just smashed right into him.
I mean, that's the one thing that's difficult is like from us up in the booth, we see a different perspective on the racing, right? We're trying to stay as biased as as non-biased as possible, and sometimes for the race control guys, they've been seeing how these guys have been racing for a while, and they see some aggression from someone or certain incidences, they deem it a little bit stronger than others, and just like that, they're going to be parking a driver. Brent Jones is done.
Might have been for.
Oh boy.
Brent Jones might have been for other reasons there, but maybe we should try to. I don't know how many laps we have left on this. Hard to tell on the caution flags. We do have in-race reporter with the race leader Ethan Burrell, and I'm going to see if the pace car lights go off. They do, so we won't pull Ethan in this time, but perhaps next time after the after the stage ends, we'll be able to pull Ethan in and get a word with him, because he should be the stage winner here should he get another good restart.
Well, next flag, if it's a caution that immediately comes out, that's going to be placing us within stage break. So the drivers are feeling that pressure. This is when the aggression level comes up for some of the drivers that are outside the top 10. Try to get inside the top 10, get those bonus points. As the pace car gets ready to go off, we're racing to lap 126 and beyond. No caution will come out. But that will be the end of stage one. His green flag out in the air. Ethan Burrell, fabulous start for himself. Rucker trying to follow suit. But here comes Joshua Adams, who's really had a couple of incidences, but now up in the top 5.
Yep, good to see Josh Adams there kind of making his headway. Rucker able to hold serve in second, and then Thomas falls into fourth. Tate Lytle into sixth. I wonder if Tate's biding his time. Tate might have a pretty strong little Pro Edge number 56 Toyota. But for now, it's all caution. Ethan Burrell, and the caution will wave. That will give us an opportunity to talk to Ethan Burrell, as he's going to win the stage now. And the other thing it will do is it will bring in our normal Wednesday broadcaster, Rishav Khosla. Welcome, Rish. Glad you're back, and this has been quite a chaotic race so far.
How's it going, David? How's it going, Sam? I'm happy to be up here. Sorry I missed the start of the race, but looks like we made it past that 100 lap mark that we were thinking we might not make it to.
Yeah, number of cautions so far. Had some bad incidents, that one of which took out Ryan Lutz. So it's been all Ethan Burrell since about lap 50. And other than that, I mean, we've just had kind of a crash after crash. We did have a long green flag run in there, though. So looking forward to when we can kind of get going. But for now, it's all Ethan Burrell.
Well, great for him, and I'm surprised there to see as well. You've got Andrew Rucker there as well running in P2, so good run there for that 64 car. So looks like a little bit of a shaken up field here, and I'm all for it.
Yeah, let's bring in Ethan Burrell here and talk to him, our in-race reporter and our stage 1 winner, Ethan Burrell, race leader. How you feeling out there? It seems like you're in the prime position. Ethan, you got a copy, buddy.
He's so zoned in, just doesn't hear us.
Too much focus there in that 37 car. Can't take some time there to speak with us, I suppose.
Yeah, we'll try him again here in a little bit. I'll go ahead and send Ethan back to his voice chat now, and maybe we'll try him on the next caution. But for now, it's all. It's been all Ethan Burrell.
He has no audio, so that's the current reporter there. So he's waiting cut out. He's waiting for the next time he stops on pit road to be able to fix it.
That's an impressive job for Ethan Burrell to run without audio. We've seen certainly guys run with issues without audio. So yeah, definitely a good move for Ethan Burrell to be able to keep leading this race despite not having the sound of the car around him.
Well, with Rish back, David, I'm going to now move over to having fun as being a pit road reporter, talking to some of the drivers, getting some of their inputs, and I'll be back up. It's up to you guys. Have fun up in the booth.
Thanks so
Thank you,
much,
Sam. Yep. So with that, we have just had a bit of a chaotic start to this one. A little bit of a summary. Scott Crumps won the pole and led the most of the first 40 laps without incident. The 90 car then pitted for tires with Ethan Burrell, giving the lead to Ryan Lutz. Lutz then led the next about 20 laps or so before giving way to Ethan Burrell, who was on tires. Scott Crump got involved in a crash or two. A 90 car, no, one lap down. Among others, Ryan Lutz, Chad Frankenfield, been involved in crashes tonight, and it's been all Ethan Burrell since the midway point of the first stage. We're into the second stage now, and about 370 to go, Rish.
Yeah, it's man, it's gonna be a long one even here with my personal truncated schedule. So can't wait to bring the action here though. This pace car is coming off, and Ethan Burrell about to lead this field back to green in that great jump that you always see on that inside line for the 37 car. Look out for Josh Adams on that bottom lane trying to get by Andrew Rucker, and it looks like he will. So Rucker might it's gonna be Josh Adams up to the second position there.
Yep. Dangerous for Ethan Burrell having someone new there in that second spot. Andrew Rucker had not been able to catch up to that 37 car. We recall Ethan Burrell had a really big lead during the green flag stint that we did have. Another story we are following is the progress of Vincent Isabella, who was 3 laps down at the start of this race. You see him there making up another spot on Scott Haney and into 14th place. Isabella ran second in the Elite All-Star race last season at Bristol, and he'll bypass Michael Goodman into 13th. This 42 car is one I got my eye on as maybe a challenger for Ethan Burrell later in this race.
Absolutely. I was just saying he's so great off of turn 2 there. He's held so much speed there. And, yeah, Vincent Isabella looking really strong right now. These guys just need to get into a rhythm here and just kind of keep ourselves from getting any of those cautions. But
there's the caution.
Oh, man, I need to get out of the booth.
Spoke too soon. Vincent Isabella's going to be through. I think that Scott Haney and I think that everyone else is good. Haney and someone else kind of slid sideways down the track, but I don't know that anything else was going to happen there. Tate Lytle, I think, just did a 360 and then moved right on.
We'll take a look there and see what happened with the iRace Online replay. But man, it would not be a race without me instantly coming in and jinxing it to get my first caution of the night there. Yeah, and that's the 04 of who is that? Caleb Thompson getting into the 56 car, and that just kind of stacked everything up.
Do Good Motorsports Chevys getting into each other, though I think Scott Haney's gonna. Oh man, and Dusty and Goody bouncing off each other as well. I think this is actually a good evasive move by Michael Goodman to avoid this crash. He and Scott Haney kind of end up on the apron, but not out of the wreck. Oh, he got bumped by Jared Rexing. And looks like neither of them are going to be too worse for wear, though I think Haney does end up going a lap down in all this. So unfortunate break for the Do-Good guys.
Yeah, really unfortunate for those guys, and that's just part of it as well. Is it's a small track. You're going at pretty high speeds for a half-mile track, and it's so easy to collect cars if there is any kind of incident because everyone's just coming at it so quickly. So. That's definitely going to be a challenge here, and seems like it has been a challenge as well. But a lot of this stuff happening a little bit further in the. We've kind of talked about this before. Maybe a little bit too much aggression further back in the order. So might need to find some guys, get them to calm down a little bit, and I'm sure race control will be on that as well. Just some of those moves. I think that one looked like it was a little bit more harmless, where it was more of maybe a racing deal, but. We got to be a little bit careful here so that we don't have a repeat of what we had a couple weeks back in the Cup Series.
Right, and we're getting to that point where we need to start clicking off some laps. We've had a number of quick cautions here, and it's going to get worse with the tire disparities throughout the field. We have guys on pretty fresh rubber like Vincent Isabella, Josh Robin in 11th and 13th. And then we've got guys on brand new rubber like Caleb Thompson, Tate Lytle, and some of those other guys. Got a bunch of guys back here with damage. We've got guys in the field with clean cars. It's now a matter of whether or not these guys can figure out who's around them, what those people are racing with, and then making those passes cleanly.
Absolutely, and something for our viewers to also note is they can't see it on their screens, but we have it on timing and scoring. This race is limited to just an hour and 30 minutes remaining, so we could potentially have a situation where we're not finishing those 500 laps. Obviously, we'd hate to see that. However, with just, I believe, an hour and 30 minutes left in the race, yeah, that could be a very interesting situation if it comes down to it.
I'm not seeing that at all.
Oh.
I think we're
potentially
we have 4 hours of race time overall. I think we'll be okay.
I'm getting a different message here from timing and scoring, so it looks like that timer right there is a little bit off. So 4 hours of racing, we can be here all night.
Indeed. Trying to set the window back here. And with that, we will go back racing. Ethan Burrell leads him down to green once again.
Yeah, Ethan Burrell with that strong restart. The thing is though, now Rucker has that inside line. He's going to try and see if he can get to Josh Adams, but he doesn't. But Adams has the run to the inside of Ethan Burrell, and we could have a challenge for the lead here.
This is the best battle. The best battle anyone's given Ethan Burrell in a couple of laps. But let's keep our eye on fresh tires back here in, I believe that'll be 5th spot Chuck Sweeting. He's going to have the freshest rubber of anyone in the top 5. That 75 car making his way towards the front.
Yeah, never ever count out Chuck Sweeting, especially at these longer races where strategy and just being there on track and not making mistakes makes a big, big difference. If you want a guy to root for in these long races, Chuck Sweeting is absolutely that guy. He always finds his way to the front of the pack.
I'm still watching this 42 car, man. Vincent Isabella has been really impressive since the early woes of tires and steering woes and starting the race on time. Vincent has really come back nicely. He's up into 8th spot.
Yeah, he's doing all right there, hugging that bottom lane. He went up to the top in 3 and 4 there, but tried to look on the bottom there by Gavel, but he is running maybe half a lane lower than what some of these other guys are running, and I kind of like that from Vincent. He's trying different things out, figuring out where his car is strong. That 42 car looks dangerous to me. Yep,
Josh Robin behind him on brand new tires, only 18 laps on those, and most of those laps are run under caution. So this 8 car definitely has the freshest rubber of the top 10. Chuck, the freshest rubber in the top 5 group, though his are still only about 8 or 9 laps newer than Ethan Burrell's.
Yeah, absolutely. Here we go. We've actually got a move from Josh Robin on the 42 cars. The 42 kind of gets checked up a little bit by those Lake Norman cars, and there you go. Josh Robin up into the 8th position. Just behind now Ryan Gavel and Tyler Fody, who are running 6 and 7.
You know, I watched Lake Norman guys run 1-2 for a decent chunk of this race, and then you know, they kind of fell out of it pretty haphazardly with the crazy crash there in turn 3. And now we have 2 more Lake Norman Motorsports cars still in the top 10. So you can't get rid of these guys. They're always around.
Absolutely, especially in these, again, you want to talk about the long races, the big races. I mean, Tyler Fody, Ryan Lutz, these guys love these types of races. Unfortunately, Lutz is down the order right now, and seems like he had some damage on that car. Not sure if it's something he can recover from. Does definitely look not ideal, that front end on that 36 car, but it is Bristol. It's a shorter track. You're less reliant on some of the bumpers and you know, aero help, but yeah, man, oh man, it's going to be tough for him. But look at Tyler Fody, look at Ryan Gavel. Those guys could both be threats for the win here at the end. Running right now in the 6th and 9th position as Ryan Gavel drops another spot.
Yep, trying to keep it up here on the top is Isabella sideways on the bottom of the racetrack. I know he is encountering those steering woes, plus running that bottom lane makes it very difficult to control that car. Gerald Campbell coming on fresh rubber. And the caution is out once again, though we did click off about 20 laps there. That was nice.
Yeah, that was a nice little short run there. I think running lap 150 of 500, though, we'd hope for a little bit of a longer run there. But yeah, let's see potentially what the cause of that particular caution was, if we can.
Go back and take a look and see if I can find anything. Didn't see any of the timing and scoring guys go. Looks like it's going to be the 12 of Damian Leininger once again. We'll have to see whether or not what that was all about. Running here with David Tooker. Car around in front of him, and Leininger sideways to avoid.
Yeah.
It was the 54 of Tyler Dixon.
Man, okay, there you go. So yeah, that's a tough incident there, and unfortunate for Damian Leininger. Tyler Dixon, I wonder how he got into the wall there. That'll be an interesting thing to see here.
It's like a little bit of contact on the wall. Bounced off it once again. Chad Frankenfield involved, and then Leininger spins with Goodman. Josh Clark gets some damage. Ryan Lutz gets some damage. There's nowhere to go at this track.
There really isn't, man. You're so high up there as that pace car, man. I love that pace car here at Bristol. It just speeds off, but yeah, there really is just nowhere to go. And again, the speeds are so high. It's such short distances, and you're covering it all so quickly. It's kind of ridiculous, and yeah, it just kind of goes towards these big wrecks, especially when something small goes wrong. But we've got our leader on pit road, Ethan Burrell, and he just blinked out there. Not sure if that's...
It was, I believe, intentional. He's suffering from some audio issues, was Ethan Burrell. So he was leading this race without any audio. Hopefully Ethan can get back into the car pretty quickly. Not sure how that's going to work.
Yeah, he's going to have to hope he doesn't go a lap down here, because that could be potentially very detrimental for the leader for the past few laps here.
I think it'll be okay if he can get back out there while being only like 1 or 2 laps down. You know, he'll have an opportunity to make those up. There will be more cautions in this race. I can guarantee you that.
Fair enough. That is true. So yeah, might as well get it working just right here for right now. And we might actually have someone waiting for us here in the booth. I'll see if I can bring him in here.
Sorry, Josh Clark in the booth. Yeah, let's go ahead and bring Josh Clark in. Maybe a little bit of a rec interview here.
Yeah, Josh. Hey, looks like you got caught up in that incident there with Tyler Dixon hitting the wall and kind of spinning out. Looked like some pretty severe damage. What happened there in that 28 car?
Well, that one, just the new smoke update. I couldn't see anything till I was like up on him, and I was carrying so much speed I couldn't lock it down and get down fast enough, so I just piled right into him. Have about 8 minutes required and 7 minutes optional, so I'm gonna get that patched up and get back out there.
Yeah, Josh, is that smoke update you may be causing us some more issues than we otherwise would have seen?
It's hard to say, but I mean, I guess you could say, yeah. You know, anytime you make it harder to see a car that's spinning, you know, you're going to have more guys that just can't see. So, yeah, I'm sure it's a part of it, but this just doesn't seem to be a lot of give and take out here, as you guys can probably vouch for.
10-4 on that.
It looks challenging, man, but hope to see you back out on the racetrack there and running as best as you can. But yeah, that's a rough break, just 156 laps into this race.
Yeah, unfortunately, it wasn't my first rough break. I know I ran into an issue in about lap 80 when I think Chad and the 63 got together, so that sucks too. I've been fighting that. My wheel was 90 degrees to the left, and I was out there crab walking. I'm sure you guys saw me get lapped about 5 times in about 20 laps or so.
Unfortunate there for Josh Adams, man. Or excuse me, not Josh Adams. Josh Clark, excuse me, man. But yeah, get that damage fixed, and we'll hopefully see you back out there with not too bad of a car and just clock out some laps here.
Yep, we'll do my best. Thank you.
And there goes Vincent Isabella's race. Pounded into the wall there. Chuck Sweeney came back up on the track while Vincent and Ryan Gavel were side by side. Excuse me.
That's rough. Yeah, we are back to green flag racing here. He does seem to still be carrying some speed, but Chuck Sweeting, yeah, really struggling there on the bottom there. Something's up with that 75 car. I was gonna say is we've kind of Vincent, hard hit on that outside wall again for that 42 car. I think there's definitely going to be some pretty severe right side damage now on that 42 after 2 hits to the wall.
Just frustrating, man. Chuck probably should have woed it up there a little bit instead of trying to come back onto the track. And kind of like Josh Clark told us, not a whole lot of giving and taking right now. Chuck just kind of took the lane on the bottom and forced Ryan Gavel to move up into Vincent Isabella. Not much he could have done there.
Yeah, I mean, that's so difficult here on this racetrack. Just not a lot of room being given by a ton of drivers here. You're just trying to go for that track position early on. And yeah, we're seeing the side effects of that. A lot of good cars out early on in this Bristol Night Race here, SMRI production.
Got news
Bristol Night Race, but it is Josh Robin up front and leading by just about 0.8 of a second over Tate Lytle now, who's taken over second position. I believe Gerald Campbell has fallen down. He was running in second before.
Yep, Campbell has fallen back. It's the guys on fresh tires: Andrew Rucker, Josh Adams, Tate Lytle. I think actually Adams has older tires. Nope, Adams has the same tires as Lytle. So Lytle now the first car on fresh rubber. Then Adams and Rucker challenging, as well as Marcus Fruchtnicht back up in here, and another Lake Norman Motorsports car trying to get up in the thick of things.
Yeah, absolutely. They're about to lap the 63 car, I believe that is, of Hank Steinmiller.
Fruchtnicht
who
blinks out there. Comes back in. That's not what you want at Bristol. Not a whole lot of time to adjust to the car blinking. And we do have update on Ethan Burrell. iRacing froze up on him. He will now be 13 laps down. The dominant car of the day, going to have to really step it up if he wants to get back in this one. And I don't know that he'll have the time to do it. Frustrating mechanical woe for Ethan Burrell.
Yeah, I think the positive thing for Ethan Burrell is Hank Steinmiller just became the first, or excuse me, no, that's not correct. That's just timing and scoring updating there. There's a lot of cars in front of him. Lucky Dog is not really going to be a situation for Ethan Burrell for a possibly ever here. So it might be day over for that 37 car, just kind of running around now for the rest of this to just grab points for the early leader here in this race.
Yeah, devastating issue, and early on, we heard about his audio woes. He was trying to make it work and tried to go in and fix it. As soon as he did, iRacing decided that he was not going to be continuing on this web. Big battle here for the lead. The fresh tires have caught the old rubber of Josh Robin. All these guys chasing him have new tires, and they are getting impatient.
Ooh. Yeah, and this is how we potentially see a wreck taking out some very fast cars. We've got a lot of guys just kind of diving and ducking for space here, trying to find a way past this 8 car of Josh Robin. You've got them 2 by 2, and there we go. You've got Tate Lytle now up top trying to get that run. Josh Robin defending on the bottom, but you've also got Josh Adams on the outside and Andrew Rucker side by side with Johnny Thomas and Marcus Fruchtnicht behind. So a little bit of chaos right now, but they seem to be organizing their way through it pretty okay as Andrew Rucker gets held up on that bottom line. Everyone else is clear. Josh Robin.
You can see how much difference the tires have made, and we've kind of noted about this all race long so far. The guy with the tires was Ethan Burrell early in the race. He drove up through the field, bypassed Ryan Lutz, and took over the race lead, and then held it for as long as he did there, which was until about lap 150. Now it's Tate Lytle, but the help is now Johnny Thomas. Johnny is really showing some speed here in the 09 car.
Yeah, Johnny Thomas, I mean, what a season he's had so far. It's really been almost a breakthrough season, really, for Johnny Thomas, he's been there as a playoff contender for a number of seasons, but really is looking like, potentially a second round playoff contender, potentially even a Final Four contender. There's a lot of speed in that 09 car. Watch as that continues to grow throughout the season, but I believe we've got a report from pit reporter Sam Dyer.
Yeah, guys, went down to racing, went down to the Pro Edge guys. Ethan Burrell extremely frustrated after internet issues was costing him and made him go so many laps down, hoping for more cautions to come out, hopefully to get him back on the lead lap.
Yeah, definitely a tough one there for Ethan Burrell. Man.
Yeah,
and the battle is here for the lead.
Brutal case for Ethan Burrell, but yeah, fingers crossed. We know that 37 car is very, very quick, and hopefully he can get something back. But a lot of lap cars in front of him. Thanks for that report there, Sam. Like you said, battle for the lead right on as it is. Josh Adams now coming back up in front of Tate Lytle, but is he going to keep that position as these guys are kind of just kind of...
Oh, Tate into Rucker. Caution will be out. Tate in the wall hard. Everybody's got to slow down to avoid Tate.
Yeah, this is the avoiding action here. That's really, really important. Guys need to be very, very careful around each other, and this is okay so far. Some guys slowing down. There's the pace car doesn't really seem to care, but yeah.
Oof.
Seems like everybody's missed that 56 car as he just rejoins on track right now. We're good to go. So it's just the 56 and the 64 then with any kind of damage from that incident.
Yeah, tough break for Tate Lytle for sure there. He definitely didn't want to see that. There we go. Yeah, it looked like to me like netcode with Andrew Rucker for sure that caused that incident. We'll have to take a closer look at the replay. presented by iRace Online. Nope, looks like Rucker just ran right into him.
Yeah, that's a small hit though to spin a car out like that crazy. That's brutal. But that's how it is sometimes. It's, you know, even at Bristol, man, it's whew. Yeah, this might be a good view here. This chase camera, as yeah, Rucker just kind of gets in there. It looks like just a small tap, but the car reacts so extremely.
Yep.
If that's even the right way to phrase that, but yeah, it's such a strange situation there. But yeah, Tate Lytle now involved in the last 2 cautions. Is that correct, or was he in the one before that?
I think he was in 2 of the last 3.
Yeah.
Could be wrong about that. Let me try to get one more here.
So it has not been a great day for Tate Lytle. He obviously lost quite a bit more track position this time around. Yeah, that's a tough one to call. I mean, it looks like it could have been some net code as well as just some of them getting close, because the car, the 56 car reacted like the 64 was quite a bit faster into his rear end. So we do have Sam Dyer back in the booth with us with potentially a report there from what happened in that incident.
Yeah, I mean, it was a lot of cars getting scrambled up, put into a box, and not much could be done there. It's just Bristol heavy racing of drivers being so close to one another. I do have a report of drivers on this pit stop. Gerald Campbell did not take tires, and kind of that's something to worry about for these drivers. Those that took so many tires early on in the first 100 laps, they only had 10 sets in pit road to work with. They've got to be careful to save them for the rest of this race.
That's a great point there. Thank you, Sam. And yeah, just using up certain tire sets is going to be super important here. Just because with how many cautions we've got, in theory, you'd love to be taking tires on every other caution here, where you just be able to run as fast as possible around this racetrack. But yeah, you've got limited sets now, and that's really going to change up how these guys tackle this race strategy.
Absolutely. We're going to go ahead and get ready for the restart now as Josh Adams, Marcus Frucknick line up side by side. Up into the top 5 is Ryan Gavel, and everyone back into 8th has not pitted. 9th on back, that's Josh Robin and Vincent Isabella. Those cars have pitted. They will be on fresh rubber.
Yep, 2 by 2 here. You're going to have Josh Adams and Marcus Frucknick, the new front row here that we haven't seen before. And also look at that one car who's kind of snuck up into this battle. Looks like he has. Just the one car's back up in here. It's Ryan Gavel, and he is going to fight with these guys. But yeah, you've got that huge advantage on that outside line. But Marcus Frucknick gets back in line as well on that top side. And it's Ryan Gavel, or excuse me, it's Johnny Thomas versus Chuck Sweeting going for 4th position.
Yep, Ryan Gavel into 3rd. That's our points leader there in the one car. He's got damage from an earlier incident. He was involved in the first kind of big crash of the day on lap 80. And has been making it back together there, but the caution out once again. Back in the field, not sure who was involved there. It's like maybe Scott Haney in the 3 car.
Yeah, we saw them going, and there he might be, but yeah, we saw them going 3 wide there on this restart, and that's just, I don't know if that's
team cars here.
Probably just a little bit too soon here for us to be going 3 wide. A lot of these guys need to just kind of get a little bit patient. Looks like it was just that 3 car kind of checking up on the bottom. Strange situation there.
Not sure why that would happen. There were team cars there running together, and Haney went ahead and towed it. He pulls it away.
Guys, it was coming out of turn number 4. Scott Haney's engine completely blown up.
Tough break for Scott Haney. He had been running well.
Laps into this race and an engine blown. What could be the cause of that?
Damage, front nose damage. Haney's been in the wall a couple of times, and he's also been spun around a couple of times. So certainly the damage on that front nose, and guys like Scott Crump, Ryan Lutz, and among others, we need to be on the lookout for similar fates. You see Crump here, I'm sure, continuing to attempt to fix damage on this 90 car. The pole sitter has been in a number of incidents tonight.
It's been a rough break there for Scott Crump as he's coming down pit road again. There you can see the damage just visually on that car, and man, I'd be I'd be hard pressed to see if there's even any any clean cars still on this racetrack. It seems like everyone's been involved in something or the other. I like how you know. I mean, even there, you got that Manscaped car. A little bit of that splitter is punched in. Potentially, our 2 leaders, Josh Adams and Marcus Frucknick, are looking all right. But,
I think if there is a clean car on track, it might be this one. Josh Robin, who did lead 18 laps. If there is one I haven't seen involved in a wreck yet, it's this one, I think. And then obviously a car that's not involved in anything is this one right here. He's been perfectly clean and harmless so far, but you see there 87 laps led. But we did document the struggles for Ethan Burrell.
Absolutely, but yeah, I'm just gonna come in here before the next caution is between Josh Robin and Ethan Burrell. So we'll see how that ages.
No, hope not. And that would be difficult because Burrell's gonna have to restart way in the back there after several laps down. He'll have to start back with the lap down cars, and yeah, just a brutal break for Ethan Burrell. I really thought this might be the ticket for him breaking the losing streak in the Cup Series.
Yeah, I was going to say, and I saw you make a tweet about it from, I believe it was the Erska series, but how many times is Ethan Burrell going to be a bridesmaid? Because it seems so often that he's up here at the end of races in the booth talking to us, but it's never because he brought that car to victory lane. And that's a shame because I think Ethan Burrell has shown so much speed and has probably deserved 1 or 2 wins in the past season and a half, but just hasn't quite been able to get there. And tonight is another situation where that 37 car was so strong, but a win looking very unlikely right now, 13 laps down for that 37 car.
And he'll stay out there and look to make up some time. Hopefully, maybe there'll be a situation where the whole field has to come down pit road in front of him. He gets a wave around and can make up a couple of those laps. But unless he ends up getting to be the first car laps down, I don't believe that 37 car will be able to make any foreseeable ground into that deficit. With that, it'll be Josh Adams restarting with the lead against Marcus Frucknick and Ryan Gavel. Adams out to the lead.
Top 4 we saw last time, though. This time it's Tyler Fode now trying to go to that outside of the 09 car as Chuck Sweeting kind of falls back. You see, as they almost make contact, maybe even a little bit of contact there between Johnny Thomas and Tyler Fode, but they single file out right now as the battle's really on for the lead. Marcus Frucknick trying to work that bottom lane to get by Josh Adams, and they are side by side. They almost slide off of the corner with each other, and they're still there side by side. Marcus Frucknick.
Caution's out.
Josh Adams. Caution. Ooh.
Again, and man, these guys have been aggressive on these restarts as per usual, though I can't say I was expecting much different at Bristol.
Well, we'll see what the cause of this particular caution is and where that happened. Seems like it was a little bit deeper in the pack by the looks of it, which again is not necessarily, I mean, what you like to be seeing. Again, fingers crossed that we're seeing some action from race control and that kind of stuff. If there are multiple offenders, and we can make sure that as the race goes on, in theory, the race gets cleaner and cleaner, and we have fewer and fewer cautions.
Looks like an incident here with Rusty Capel in the 9 car. Really, first time all year we'd had anything to worry about with this 9 car. He's done a good job for the most part, but loose off the corner, bounces it off the inside wall, unable to get going, and that'll bring out the caution. So a single car incident as we hit lap 200 on the day.
Yeah, lap 200, there we go. But yeah, single car. I mean, Rusty Capel had a very solid season last year last season in 2028, or excuse me, 2020B. Almost made the chase there. That 9 car was very strong in general. He just kind of held very, very quiet races all throughout the season, and had a very Josh Clark-esque kind of season where he was just there, always finished that car in the top 15, but was never, very showy. He was never on camera, but was very close to a chase run there, which would have been very impressive. Hasn't quite been the most glamorous start to the season, though, in 2021A for Rusty Capel. So he'll be hoping to change that most likely starting next week.
Wanted to highlight this car here. Michael Goodman running in 15th. His teammate Dusty Dewar running 14th. The do-good cars, we've kind of addressed them a little bit, but I just saw it on Twitter there checking it. The last car broadcast, new sponsor by Brock Beard's YouTube channel. I don't know if you guys have ever watched that, but I have to jump on and highly recommend this YouTube channel. Brock Beard does really good work, gets a lot of interviews. He just put up a video with him interviewing Morgan Shepherd a couple of weeks ago, so you really got to check him out. He's really good, and I couldn't believe he was sponsoring Michael Goodman's car, so had to give a real quick shout out for that. Just thanks for joining up, Brock, and we hope you're enjoying the race. And Michael's running really well for you so far, up into 14th. So yeah, awesome stuff, and can't recommend that YouTube channel enough.
Yeah, great run for that 44 car so far. Great run for Do Good Motorsports so far. We've got another report for you guys from our pit lane reporter, Sam Dyer. Sam, what have you got?
Yeah, I went down to go talk to Joshua Adams as well as to Scott Crump, and both drivers kind of polar opposite days for themselves. Joshua Adams questioning why everyone is so aggressive. He's feeling the pressure up front on these restarts. Crump still has a lot of repairs to be done, low on power, but feels like once those damages are repaired, he's got a chance to run up front.
Great work there from Sam. Thank you so much for the report. Looking at this restart and the way they're stacking up, the car with the freshest tires is currently going to be restarting in 6th. That'll be Vincent Isabella in the 42. We've seen that one bounce off the wall a couple times. Looks like he's gotten some of that repaired and is back up in contention.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. We were just talking a few laps ago, or it seemed like it was a few laps ago, where Vincent Isabella was falling back and was down, on the lower half of that top 20. But back to Green Flag Racing, that 42 car, very much involved in this fight for the top 5 as he makes that pass on Tyler Fody for 5th position. He got them single filed up front here. Hopefully they're nice and clean further back and not getting too aggressive.
Yep, good clean restart there. Vincent Isabella trying to make hay on the bottom, but Chad Frankenfield taking advantage up top. We've seen that 15 car involved in a couple of wrecks in this one. The battle, though, is for the lead. Marcus Frucknick trying to get after Josh Adams, can't get it done, and Johnny Thomas will now be up into 3rd.
Yeah, look out for Johnny Thomas, man. This could be the night that 09 car potentially sees victory lane, and what a great result that would be. But he's been strong all season. I believe I'd have to go back and check, but I believe he is the highest point scoring driver who has not won a race this season, though. I could be wrong there.
It's this car right here. Number 1, Ryan Gavel, is the highest points car without winning a race. Johnny Thomas, I think, is actually still 2nd. As we do go under caution once again. Chad Frankenfield had moved past his teammate Johnny Thomas and into 3rd using that fresh rubber.
It's a parking lot, guys, in the entry of corner number 1. Alec Balvance and others all collected up in this thing.
Thank you for the report, Sam. We'll hit the iRace Online replay and go take a look at what happened. Looks like Caleb Thompson came up the track and into Alec Balvans off of turn 4. Right there. I think that might have been netcode. As Balvans gets into the 44, there's Ethan Burrell involved, Damian Leininger involved again, Jared Rexing involved again.
Man, it looks like even, Ryan Lutz, I think, was in that. Just lots of good cars keep getting torn up here. I'll have 205 of 500. So much time still to go in this race. It's the aggression is just a little bit too much here. That one was, like you said, I think that looked like netcode, but there needs to be just a little bit more space given between some of these drivers on the racetrack. Just, again, settle into a groove and let the tire wear work itself out. The guys who have good tire wear, they'll work their way back up to the front. They'll be able to make overtakes. It's not like this is a single groove racetrack.
Let's take a look from the back here. There's the spin, and I can't help but wonder if these wrecks are maybe getting a little bit more violent due to that tire smoke. Ryan Lutz woed up. It looks like everyone else was able to woe up and get through this cleanly. But just netcode on the front straightaway takes out another group of really good cars. Yeah,
I'm actually curious. I don't know if you might be able to speak to that. I actually just downloaded the latest iRacing update today, so haven't really gotten a chance to experience. Seems like there's a difference in the smoke from the couple of interviews we've had with drivers and what you were just mentioning there. So talk me as well as some of our viewers through what this new smoke update's doing.
No, just a massive update, actually. We experienced it last night on the Dirt broadcast, the Big Block Modifieds that run Tuesday nights, myself and Michael Goodman on the call there, and we saw it. It was crazy how much different the dirt smoke was. It looked really like a real dirt race. There was kind of a cloud of dust over the track every single time. And then when we saw the smoke in these wrecks, in fact, while we're kind of pacing under caution, why don't we hit the iRace Online replay and go back and take a quick look at that smoke from the last wreck to kind of give a quick example. But it's very thick and it shows off a really heavy cloud, if you will, making it very difficult to see when you get through the crash. Some of these guys. Really, I'm sure we'll go on board with Ryan Lutz here. Actually, I think we're forming up for green flag. No, not yet. I'll get it. But as soon as I can get there, I'll show it. The smoke is more textured, right? It's got a really thickness to it that it didn't have before, and it makes it kind of difficult to see. So let's go onto the cockpit with Ryan Lutz and watch what he sees. And there's a crash in front. You see how the smoke really just blocks the track.
Wow.
Makes it very difficult to see. And a great job by Ryan Lutz seeing those cars through that smoke.
Yeah, brilliant drive there. Yeah, I don't think he actually ended up making contact with anybody. But yeah, that is a thick smoke. And when you get, 2, 3, 4 cars involved in a wreck, you can't see anything because all 3 of those cars are smoking. But back to green flag racing here. Chad Frankenfield on that front row there without a front end on that 15 car. Not a very quick getaway, and it is Josh Robin now who's going to be challenging against Josh Adams. It's
oh
the
boy.
Josh show up front, and here we go. Robin to the bottom, and we've got them almost 3 wide here going for, what even is this position? Is this
10th?
22nd? Oh no.
Crump is 22nd. Crump is a couple of laps down. Or a lap down now after trying to fix all the damage on that 90 car, I'm sure. But we had a car merge into the traffic earlier and cause a big crash. Took out Ryan Lutz in that one, actually. So I jumped on board with that to see what happened, and in so doing, lost the lead battle to Josh Robin there as Adams falls back to 3rd. Gerald Campbell now into the top group as well.
Yeah, Josh Robin up to the lead, but Chad Frankenfield actually now running up to 2nd position. Impressive job by that 15 car, and here comes Gerald Campbell in that 31. We know he's happy to be back in the 31 car this season, and the results have kind of been showing it.
Frankenfield sideways off the wall as well.
Yeah, sideways off the wall, and also I believe that was a blink for the 15 car, which
3 wide.
Which again can get a little bit scary as it is still 2x2. Vincent Isabella trying to work his way forward. Here comes Andrew Rucker back into the scene. So a lot of comers and goers, and is that Dustin Dewar there?
It is. Dusty Dewar up into the top 10 in 6th spot, doing a wonderful job. Same for Zishan Dura in the 01. We just haven't seen some of these guys running up in the top group with them, but they, Dusty and Zishan have really held their own. I think both guys have been involved in a wreck or two, but who hasn't at this point? I think everybody's been involved in something. And 2 guys up in the top 10 as well who've been multiple laps down. One is the 42 right there, Vincent Isabella. The other, the 64 of Andrew Rucker. He's come back from 2 laps down to get back on the lead lap after crashing with Tate Lytle.
Yeah, so very, very impressive job by a lot of these guys. Again, lots of comers and goers in this race and still a long way to go. Over halfway to go in this event, so still a lot to play for. But yeah, massive shout out. Dustin Dura, Zishan Dura, they're both running inside that top 10. Guys that we don't normally get to call the names of there, but yeah, great run so far. And right now, honestly, the noses of those cars seem all right. So as long as that car is turning and putting power down on the road, you're all right here at Bristol.
Yep, Chad Frankenfield's damage may not be quite as severe as the model is showing me. I've kind of been able to look back at some other races, and whenever the spectate view is on, you get a little bit more severe damage reaction from the model, when in actuality it's not nearly as bad. We've seen that from Rucker a couple of times where that net code kind of gets him in trouble, and you saw Gerald Campbell having to wiggle down the track. The current car that's on the move is the 13 of Marcus Frucknick. New tires on the 13. Ooh. Just as I say that, he about spins it out.
Man, that was a great save there by Marcus Frucknick. That car was basically sideways down that front straightaway, but he's still running here and going to hold off Zishan Dura on the bottom line there.
Hello.
Is that Ryan Lutz potentially sneaking back into the top 10?
He's 11th.
Ryan Lutz coming back into this race, as he is P11 right now, fighting out with teammate Tyler Fody, but that 36 car, never ever count him out when it's at a short track. But ooh, we've got another caution flag out.
Been a rough one on the caution flags. Don't know what's quite happening. Looking for timing and scoring to maybe show us an issue there. I'll try to take a look back through the field here. Been iRace Online replay has been used very faithfully today.
Absolutely, big thanks to them for sponsoring and of course being the official sponsor for the Elite Racing League replays in the JoinAPS Cup Series. So yeah, iRace Online certainly getting their money's worth here tonight.
Tate Lytle with another net code on the straightaway issue. Saved it.
Tate Lytle he did save it, but Tate Lytle has not had great luck here tonight. He's been on the receiving end of 3 different cases where he's been turned as the car in front. So yeah, has not been the day for that 56 car. Has not really been the start of the season as a whole for that 56 car. Been involved in incidents at almost every event here, despite having just a ton of speed.
Yeah, the thing with Tate is, and fortunately for him, we're going to go on board with Tate Lytle as well when I can get it pulled up here. But the fortunate thing is that Tate Lytle did manage to take some of that luck and go win on Monday night in Erska. So it's not all bad. You see there, great save by Tate, gets it straightened out, and he'll continue on.
And that's enough to bring out the caution, though, just running sideways down that main straightaway again. I think very easy to bring out the caution here at this racetrack as well, something that you might not have at most tracks. But yeah, for Tate Lytle, I mean, his season has been rough, to say the least. Led laps at both Daytona and Milwaukee, but his best result this season is 9th place at Daytona. He finished 20th at Milwaukee and 24th last week at Watkins Glen. Just has not been the season for that 56 car so far, and tonight is another repeat of likely that same kind of story we've been seeing for Tate Lytle.
Yeah, just a tough one here, and I think this race is starting to wear on some of these guys as well throughout the field. Everyone a little bit frustrated with the number of cautions that we've seen. Like I said, I was expecting this. This is not anywhere near like Milwaukee for me. When you run a race like this, and I'll pull up the race summary, we have 15 cautions. A lot, for sure, but honestly, it's Bristol. I was expecting something along these lines, and we're gonna see more cautions, but I think we're also gonna see some green flag runs here.
Fingers crossed here, but we'll bring in one of the guys we've been talking to here, Josh Clark. Josh, how's the damage on that 28 car?
Not very good. Just popped the engine a few minutes ago, so I'm gonna have a beer here and get back out there in about 30 minutes.
Yeah, Josh, are you seeing some of these? Have you seen any of that net code that's happened? I mean, we've only really seen it down the straightaways, but it seems like guys just aren't giving each other enough room down the straightaway.
Yeah, that's got to be it. The net code seems pretty bad tonight, and yeah, when you're on the straightaway, you think you're safe, but it really doesn't matter where you are, truly. So anytime you're pretty close to a guy, you're putting yourself at risk.
Well, thanks so much for joining us up here in the booth, Josh. Just unfortunate again tonight to have those issues, but yeah, man, bring it back and come back with a vengeance next time out, as we're about to go back to green flag.
Will do. We're gonna have fun.
Josh Clark there, 28 car, just has not been his night tonight. For same with a lot of drivers, but Josh Robin right now is enjoying this race to some extent here as he takes over the lead, restarts in the first position. But here comes Johnny Thomas. That 09 Ford Mustang has looked strong as we've got, I think, another caution. Yep.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, saw that happening in the back. Don't tell me that was our 56 car again. Yeah, I'm seeing him roll down the order there, potentially. I don't know.
Quick into the iRace Online replay, and Tate Lytle now on pit road. Looks like it was going to be Tate Lytle once again involved in this one.
Tate Lytle, man, let's take a look. This is not the kind of TV time that he was hoping he'd be getting tonight.
Big check up there, entering turn 3, and just nowhere to go. Oh, and he gets into Ryan Lutz, Alec Balvans, Rusty Capel as well.
The 18 of Joshua Personette as well had to check up for that, and around just, not great.
Once again, iRace Online really getting their money's worth. If you want to get your money's worth, sponsor a 500, the instant replay feature at a 500 lap race at Bristol. That's all I gotta say.
Absolutely, yeah. That's that's the perfect thing to be.
Ooh, Damian Leininger
sponsored here.
squeaks through there.
Ooh, that's just, these are hard hits for a lot of these cars, and yeah, I get a feeling that that many of these drivers are starting to just lose their patience a little bit as we got another report here from Sam Dyer.
Yeah, guys, Tate Lytle came over the radio saying that he's possibly thinking about just parking it for the day. Sounds like frustration has mounted over the 56 machine. Also, driver getting the lucky dog this time around. That's going to be Joshua Personette. Elation from that 18 team. Excited to be one lap down and has a chance to get back on the lead lap. He hasn't been on the lead lap since lap 10.
He was the first car we saw go one lap down and has dodged most of the major incidents. I think got caught up in one of them. You see the rear bumper has been scraped off the 18 car. But, yep, one lap down, going to be having an opportunity to get back on the lead lap soon and maybe even get a top 20 finish here at Bristol.
And it has officially happened. Tate Lytle has DNF'd for today.
That's yeah. This is absolutely not been the season for that 56 car. From a top 9 in the championship run, and even made. Am I correct in saying he made the Final Four in the Xfinity Series?
Yes.
He did. So
Yep.
yeah, I mean he had such a great 2020 B season, a very strong 2020 B season, and to start off 2021 A the way he has not been great in the elite racing leagues.
No, it really hasn't, but I want to go and shout out this guy right here, running 5th. Dusty Dewar has done a marvelous job keeping that 32 car out of trouble today. Just been involved in, I think, one incident where he got sideways and picked up a little left side damage, but he has not been lacking for speed. He's been right up there with these guys, has been, not in the way, not charging for it. He's just been right there, giving him everything he's got, and I think this 32 car might have an outside chance to go to victory lane tonight if things fall his way.
Man, yeah, that would be amazing to see. Again, Dusty's such a likable character in the field, and right now just running the race of his life here at Bristol, doing a great job at keeping it off the walls, at least for recently, or more than some of his other drivers there. And yeah, just running really well here. Hasn't been losing positions either. So Dusty Dewar right now, very strong run so far for that 32 car. But back to the restart, it's Josh Robin with the big jump, and Andrew Rucker might get to the outside of that 09 car of Johnny Thomas. He's not. Johnny Thomas now has to slot back in and see if he can go after.
Chad Frankenfield just bounced off the one of Ryan Gavel. Marcus Frucknick let in Dusty Dewar. Vincent Isabella let in the Chuck Sweeting machine. A lot of close calls there on the restart, but the fresh tires car, that is the 31 of Gerald Campbell. He makes his move underneath Ryan Gavel, so Campbell has the freshest tires here, and he's going to go for it and almost crash him. In fact, he might have. Ooh.
They're going to keep it rolling in the correct direction, and we're not going to have a caution here, but just a big checkup there is Gerald Campbell.
You know what's great is I spat in the face of the broadcaster's curse and went and talked about Dusty Dewar, and he got bounced off of somebody in that one. So my bad, Dusty, again. What a recovery, though, here. 12 car Damian Leininger doing a wonderful job getting back up in it with the damage he suffered in that crash with Jared Rexing. Rexing right there as well. Damian, though, up to 12th, not at all slow, and caution out once again.
Yeah, caution flag flies here. We'll once again see where that originated from. Yeah, I mean, a lot of cars that were involved in some pretty major-looking wrecks are back inside that top 20 and fighting for, really good race positions, really good finishing positions. I mean, that's just kind of the shape this race is taking. I mean, there's, like we said earlier, there's no cars that are really or haven't been involved in incidents, and that's kind of what we're looking at. I would not be surprised if we had a lot of modifieds effectively racing at the end of this race. So you see these cars with no front bumper. Ooh.
And I think Michael Goodman might have caused a little bit of an incident there, and Matthew Weeks, Ryan Lutz involved as well. So tough break for Goody. I think that the last car, number 44 Chevy, is going to be done for the night. It looks like a lot of engine damage as the the smoke puffs out from the rear.
Yeah,
It's
that
like
was a-
Ethan
that was a
Burrell
weird
buried it
incident
in the.
there.
It's like Ethan Burrell buried it in the tires as well. Finished that one off. He looks like he's just frustrated and done for the night.
Yeah, I think that's 2 Pro Edge cars now out of this race. Tate Lytle, Ethan Burrell, both who were looking somewhat strong here tonight. It's just, man, has not been going their ways.
No, it has not, and you know, we're waiting to see. Maybe it'll go one of the way of one of these guys that we've been covering. I believe Dusty Dewar is going to be the first one to head to pit road. Damian Leininger as well. The kind of redemption story that we're waiting for is kind of the key to this race. The rest of the way,
everyone's a redemption story at this point, to be brutally honest.
except for maybe Josh Robin. That 8 car's been clean all day.
Yeah, I was gonna say Josh Robin, Johnny Thomas. I think those guys have been looking pretty okay, but everyone else has been caught up in something. Yeah, it would not surprise me if at the end of the race we're talking about how they were involved in a massive wreck and still brought it to victory lane.
Yeah, just we're almost at halfway here, so it's been quite a night, and it's going to continue on. We've really got to click off some laps, I think, if we're gonna finish this thing off, but we've only been for about an hour and 50 minutes, and we had 5 hours to complete this race on iRacing, so I think these guys are going to be all right to get to the finish. It's just going to be somewhat difficult.
We'll get to the finish. I just hope it doesn't take 4 hours to get there.
It might take 4 hours from when you got into the booth.
Oh, yeah, yeah, sorry. Gotta respect the fact that you started this an hour earlier than me. I do not envy you one bit for what this race is seeming to turn into. We just really need a nice little green flag run here. I feel like race control just needs to quickly sit a lot of these drivers down and just be like, hey, let's take it easy for a couple of laps here. Let's everyone get into single file groove and kind of go about it. Try and just get everyone comfortable. Get 20, 30, 40 laps clocked through here.
Yep, sure would like to see maybe a little bit of a long green flag run, try to get some of these guys with new tires to have an opportunity to work their way up from the rear of the field, get that kind of flow going where you have guys making passes. But as we dwindle the field a little bit, I think it'll continue to get easier to run laps under green. For now, only 21 cars on the lead lap. Josh Personette still hasn't managed to get that lap back, so hopefully he's able to get it. Here is back under green. Josh Robin takes to the gas pedal, and he's gone.
Yeah, let's get that advantage that pole sitter has so great and kind of excuse him almost from a lot of these incidents that occur further back. It protects him from that. But a little bit of blinking there from that 8 car could be detrimental. But 2x2 there all the way back here fighting around the 10th position. Not ideal. We'll see how much room they give each other. You see there just a nice berth given by Zishan Dura, just making sure he's not making contact with a lot of these drivers. But you got a couple of drivers blinking in there, and this can very quickly go wrong. See, here I'm kind of doing a little bit of a reverse thing, where if I talk about the caution that's coming up, we won't get a caution. That's what I'm thinking.
We have to use our power for good and not evil. Is what we have to do.
Exactly. I think we insult all the drivers we want to do well, because that seems to be the way things work. And we call a caution every lap because that'll just have us going green, I think.
Yep.
So,
Where's the caution? Where's the caution? Oh, it's coming. Oh.
Ooh, I mean,
They're trying to do it back here too. Watching this big battle, Chad Frankenfield just right reared Tyler Fody, gonna come off the wall, takes out Zishan Dura, Vincent Isabella. We're gonna ride on board with Vincent Isabella through that one. That was incredible.
Chad Frankenfield looks like he just got a little bit high there off the corner, and that kind of domino effect.
Looks like
that, and he's still spinning.
I wonder if Adams just voiced some displeasure with Chad Frankenfield there.
Yeah, no, guys, there was a lot of frustration in that accident, and with that caution coming out, this is your top 10 getting the stage points for stage number 2.
Yeah, thank you. I completely forgot. I wanted to get that right there. Josh Adams spinning out Chad Frankenfield under caution. I don't know if Adams will get parked for that or not, but I think it's kind of warranted for the way this race has gone tonight. Just a mess is what it is, and Adams was one of our faster cars tonight. So let's jump on the iRace Online replay real quick and try to pick up on board with Vincent Isabella. I think that's going to be the call here.
Well, folks, the good news is we are at the halfway point in this race, so that's certainly positive. But wow, this is going to be a wild ride.
Look at that
Almost
job by Vincent Isabella. Never touched a
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
Oh my. That's a massively impressive job by Vincent Isabella.
Yeah, great job there by that 42 car, just avoiding the incident, and again back inside the top 10. So again, just there's an ebb and a flow to this event, and these guys need to just kind of let it happen naturally. It will happen naturally over the course of a green flag run or two. We just need that to happen. We don't need it to come through, guys hitting through caution and that shaking things up. We will get comers and goers if we just get 30, 40 laps green at least. Just a little bit there. Hopefully some of the drivers out in the lobby can hear us here on the broadcast and hear what we're hoping for. So
we hope so.
Out
I
of-
do want to report this though, guys. Based on race control, they're deeming that as a racing incident, so no one is getting dinged with an EOL on that one.
So Josh Adams didn't get dinged for the post wreck spin of Chad Frankenfield.
Nope, no penalties are given out on that one.
Wow.
interesting.
What a remarkable stage finish. I think the stage finish was right here, and I'll show these results. Don't hold me to this, but I think this was your stage 2 points.
It looks about right, yeah. I mean, it might have shifted 1 or 2 positions if guys came down pit road who finished in the top 10 in that stage, but I believe that's pretty close to being correct. And big shout-outs there, Dusty Dewar and Richard Hines, 2 guys who you don't often see running in that top 10, and both of them doing a great job right now. Is that 87? No, okay. I was going to say, is that 87 car one of those cars that hasn't had much damage? But
No, he's been
gotta
involved in a
feel bad
couple
for-
of incidents. Rusty Capel up here in the top 10 now as well. We've seen him spun around once or twice, but been quiet besides that one spin, and is now up into 8th.
Yeah, and that was kind of the signature for Rusty Capel last season, is just quietly putting in results, and wasn't a car that we talked about, wasn't a driver that we talked about much up in the booth, but he's getting the screen time right now, and absolutely well deserved here right now, running P7 for Rusty Capel. We'll keep an eye out. He's showing some good speed in that number 9 car.
So the question will be, does anyone have anything for Josh Robin? He's able to keep ahead of these incidents. That 8 car is just going to keep on leading laps and keep on pulling away.
Yeah, some blinking there for Dusty Dewar. Hopefully that goes away once we go back to green flag racing here. But Josh Robin, that early restart gets him clear of all these other issues, and now he leaves Gerald Campbell and Johnny Thomas to fight it out for second. But Campbell with the great move on the outside, and he's now got someone new in second place, but it's a teammate in the form of Gerald Campbell. So these guys could potentially work together here, make sure things stay nice and clean.
Just looking at the tire situation, Gerald Campbell's tires are 40 laps newer than Josh Robin's. Now, not all of those laps have been run under green flag conditions, but significantly fresher rubber for the 31 cars. He's going to go for the lead here.
Yeah, we'll see what Gerald Campbell can do. Interesting to see, and obviously they probably all haven't been for tires, but Gerald Campbell has been down pit road 10 times. Josh Robin just 4, and that's been a key for Josh Robin just staying out front. Is he knows these runs haven't been long, so he's been able to just kind of not really bring that car down pit road because he hasn't needed to. He hasn't really been caught up in wrecks, and he's got that track position. And honestly, even Gerald Campbell right now with that very fresh rubber isn't making much headway on the 8 car.
Yep, checking out the 4th place spot. Jared Rexing was involved in that early wreck. As the battle for the lead now commences, Campbell goes underneath Robin, doesn't make it work. Now he'll try once again. As Isabella also going for 5th, and then the big wad of cars back for about 10th spot. Hopefully they can kind of keep it clean and let us turn some laps in. Campbell to the lead. Oh, and Campbell hit the wall. He's all right. Oh, he saved it. And Johnny Thomas there.
Yeah, Johnny Thomas slides up into second position there, almost kind of door slams the 8 of Josh Robin a little bit. But here we go, and Jared Rexing as well is joining in for this fight for the lead. As Josh Robin, that car is not looking too great right now, and maybe this long run is where we're starting to see him a little bit weaker with those older tires.
Yep, tough to note that those tires are so old. As we look through, Jared Rexing does have the freshest tires of this group of 4 cars. And you can see it in the center of the corner. That car definitely has the most grip.
That's amazing grip and amazing speed by this 10 car, and here he goes, just sliding, and you can make those moves on. Ooh, did he have a nose ahead? I think he might have had a nose ahead of Johnny Thomas when that caution came
Guys,
out.
caution on the front stretch.
Oh, yeah.
Huge calamity.
Looks like the 12 car of Leininger gets involved here. Let's try to take a look. Real
Ooh, that's
big
net code.
Big net code, and it's been that way all night. We talked about Richard Hines. He's involved. David Tooker's had a miserable night. Scott Crump gets involved. We saw...
I'm trying to see if I can spot a Pro Edge car in the top 20, and I don't think I can. And that's kind of been their night.
I think you're absolutely right. They have been... Matthew Weeks and Josh Clark were out early in this one, and then the rest of them just following suit. So with David Tooker here, trying to get through it, bounces off of Richard Hines and into the inside wall goes the 19. You see Crump sliding in as well. Everyone else able to check up. And
progress. We made it 10 laps.
That's not progress. Oh man.
Hey, they at least tried. I do want to note, though, Gerald Campbell, yes, it looked like he had fresher tires, but he was struggling so much to make that pass for the lead on Robin is because Gerald Campbell is down on power. So this 31 machine, yes, he had fresher tires, but that's why it was such a struggle for him to make that pass.
Good to know, Sam, and you're doing a great job on the pit reporting, man. It's really helpful to know those extra details, and you're doing a great job. No, you got somewhat fired there from from the booth a little bit, so you're welcome.
It's fun. You guys are the regulars. You guys know these drivers so much better than I do, so I'm okay with hopping around. I'm having fun interacting with drivers.
Hey,
I love getting the extra information from the different Discord chat, because that's not something we get a chance to do a ton. Is hop into the different Discord channels during the race, especially.
Yep.
I've been trying to keep race chat, but that is so much chaos as well. It's hard to listen into everything that's going on.
Oh yeah, it's so difficult. I mean, most of the drivers right now, they're frustrated. They're wanting this race to go green, and everyone is kind of saying the same thing. I go to each Discord chat and they're all saying, "Hey, everyone is so aggressive on these restarts, but it's because you're so close. Everyone's trying to gain as many positions as possible, but there's also that frustration of, hey, can we calm down early on so we can survive later in this race?" But it's difficult. I mean, the beginning of these restarts, it seems like the only time you can make these passes.
Yeah,
really does.
These guys are just doing tough work. I wonder now, Sam, if we can put your pit road skills to good use and drop down to see if what happened to Johnny Thomas there on the pit stops. He is now one lap down after being, I think, second before the caution came out and racing for the lead.
I would imagine for him, he made that body slam. I think he was trying to get that damage repaired, and that's what's been keeping him in pit road for this long, is because of how much damage that really was when he made that body slam move to try to move up to second place, and ultimately backfired there for that driver.
Good to know there.
Certainly not over for him. He can still. He's the first car one lap down, and based on the pattern we've seen here tonight, he could be the lucky dog in just a couple of laps.
Unfortunately, you're not supposed to call it, Rish. We have to curse it.
No, that's the whole idea. I'm calling the caution to happen in a couple of laps, which either means it's going to happen in less than a couple of laps or hopefully more.
Once again, green flag out. Dusty Dewar is going to get the launch from into second, but the checkup on the restart, and never mind. I guess it didn't work at all.
You had to talk about Dusty. Man, what happened? That was a big checkup on that outside lane.
I think Dusty might have missed a shift.
Might have missed a shift. It looked like he might have even jumped a little bit that start. We'll take a look and see, and might have just had to check up, and Tyler Fody ran into the back of him after that. Let's take a look here.
Well, as we're looking at it, guys, Johnny Thompson talked about it. Thomas, he talked about him getting that lucky dog spot. He got it. He was not involved in that incident.
I think it might have been because of Tyler Fody there, lifted his rear tires off the ground when he hit him. That must have been the problem.
Yeah, so it was a checkup on that outside line, whether it was Tyler Fody running into the back of him and jumping the start, or Dusty potentially checking up a little bit. Something happened there, and that outside lane didn't get going like it was expected to. So difficult to tell without us having all that telemetry.
Josh Robin's going to get spun out in this one.
Yeah, Josh Robin, I mean, led so many laps there, and he's now.
He's
Again, once
good.
you're in the fray there, it's so hard to avoid it.
He's good though. Car looks
He
clean.
is.
Nothing wrong. But oh my, just constant.
A quick request from one of our viewers to get a quick race summary update. Laps under caution and where we're at so far. So we've just passed 100 laps under caution for 20 cautions. So it's been almost a third of this race, or over a third of this race, excuse me, has been held under caution right now.
Real tough break overall. I think for a lot of these cautions. Certainly a little bit avoidable. A number of them have been, but man, you can only do so much about the net code and some of these other things that just keep happening. It's Bristol, and we are a group of more amateurish drivers, and the one pro decided he was going to park it after 50 laps, RC Anderson. So wasn't interested in running Bristol, and I can't blame him for that. This has been a grind of a race so far, and I can only imagine it's going to continue.
Yeah, I think for the guys who are locked in to the chase already, they're pretty thankful for this event. They can just be like, you know what? I'll start my car, grab the points for last place or whatever, and call it a day. That's enough for me.
Mm-hmm. So with that, I think we'll try to hit a commercial break here somewhat. Come back, we might throw in our sponsor reads as well. You've been watching the SMRI Bristol Night Race for the Elite Racing Network.
You can do that, right?
Yeah.
Is that a thing you can do? Okay.
Yeah.
Because I thought you had to send them through two different.
No.
Welcome back to the Elite Racing Bristol Night Race presented by SMRI Productions. It's been a long one here tonight, and the battles continue for the fifth-ish spot.
Well, I mean, while we're here, at least, as there is some, on-track action, we did want to just reach out to SMRI Productions for sponsoring this race and thank them a ton. I mean, they sponsored a ton of events here in the 2021 A season, and if you don't know what SMRI is, they're an independent record label that exists at the intersection of creation, media, and technology. They'll provide multiple avenues of content consumption and making sure that you're always in control. And they really focus on delivering comprehensive digital content with organic media for all of your digital needs. So definitely check out SMRI Productions. They sponsor a lot of cars in the series. They sponsor a lot of events in the series. Heck, they sponsor an entire series in the the SMRI Productions Grand National Series. So absolutely check them out. What a great company, and so happy to have them on board with the Elite Racing Leagues in the 2021 A season. And we did not go to a caution during that entire sponsor read, and that's a win for me.
I'm with you there. It's been brutally tough here tonight, just to get a couple of green flag laps in, but we have finally managed to do it. Things are mostly sorted out. We've got the best battle on track on camera right now. Gerald Campbell and Jared Rexing are 1-2 for the lead, though, and I think Rexing actually going for it. He won't get it done, though, and Marcus Frucknicht has entered the battle.
Yeah, this great three-way battle, but look at the gap back to fourth position, Dusty Dewar. Who great job by him being in fourth position. As that's I saw a car rolling off pit road, and I was worried for a second it was the pace car.
I think Josh Adams did get a spin of some sort, but kept it off the racetrack and therefore kept the caution from coming out. So thanks to Josh for that one, though he is now a couple of laps down, running 22nd, now 8 laps down.
Yeah, Marcus Frucknicht trying to work this bottom lane here as you see that, the leader, Gerald Campbell, there in the 31, just running right up against that wall. And now here with Jared Rexing as well, who's going to make the move on Frucknicht. Yeah, I think it's kind of tough, especially once you get into the run, to really make the move on the bottom. The tires kind of have to be in your favor. You really have to hug that bottom lane or get some extra kind of run into the corner if you got any chance at making a move. Right now, the top line, definitely more preferred.
Marcus Frucknicht does have the freshest tires among this group. Though, again, we don't really know how fresh. These guys tend to be more along the lines of, 10 to 20 laps under caution on these tires. So we'll have to see if the advantage Frucknicht is provided by those tires is enough to make him pass for the race lead.
Yeah, an impressive job, though, by Gerald Campbell, because if he does have that low power that he's been struggling with, holding off both Jared Rexing and Marcus Frucknicht right now is an impressive drive here from this 31 car. He's been leading laps here, and yes, Bristol is not a power-heavy racetrack. You're not, reliant on your engine power, but
I think we're under caution.
It does make a difference. We do
Looks
have a
like
caution
Chuck
flag,
Sweeting or Andrew Rucker or both have wrecked on the back straightaway.
Ooh. We've seen Rucker involved in a couple of incidents here tonight, so has not been the cleanest of nights for that 64 car. We'll see what happened there. He's also had, I think, a little bit of netcode issue.
I
He's
take it
gotten
back.
Close with some drivers before.
I take it back. It was Tyler Fode.
Ah, okay.
Tyler Fode and Chuck Sweeting. Looks like Chuck Sweeting, the one who got the worst of it.
We'll take a look and see what happened there. Here's the iRace Online replay as Chuck Sweeting. Ooh, it's Dusty Dewar bouncing off the wall, getting into Chuck Sweeting, and then hard hit for Tyler Fode. You didn't really have anywhere to go, in all fairness to that 40 car. 15, I think, of Chad Frankenfield as well might have caught some damage there as well.
Frustrating for Fode. He'd been running in the top 10 all day. Sure, he's not happy about that one. Probably ditto with Chuck. And then maybe the worst of it is that Josh Clark, our kind of in-race reporter for this one, took over for Ethan Burrell, kind of minding his own business. And he ends up getting caught up in a big incident.
Ooh, no. Let's take a look here. Josh Clark. Oh, yeah, that's a hard hit for that 28 car.
Which had been
15 car, 40 car, and yeah, that's
Richard Hines doing a good job. We'll hit the iRace Online replay one more time and grab Richard Hines' on board in that one.
While you're doing that, we will actually get a chance to talk to poor Josh Clark, who just cannot seem to catch a break here. Josh, man. What have you got to do here just to keep that car running, and is it even still running?
It's running, but it's about what I had last time when I ran into the back of Dixon. So it's 8 minutes required, 7 minutes optional. So I'm gonna fix it all and get back out there. It'll probably pop at some point, and I'll have to put a new one in again. And seeing how the race is going, I might be able to do that still. So
yeah, look out for Josh Clark potentially with a top 20 despite all of this.
Only 124 laps down, Josh. I'm sure you'll be able to get her done.
You got a chance. Josh Clark there in that 28 car, man. It's Pro Edge Racing is just having the roughest of nights there. Josh Clark with those engine issues. We talked about David Tooker down in 19th, 3 laps down. Ethan Burrell was leading early on, but then of course got the internet issue or the iRacing crash as well as the mic issues, took him out of the event, then crashed out. Tate Lytle taken out a number of times. Pro Edge Racing just wants to leave this night behind.
Yep, another great job by Vincent Isabella there, getting through the wreck. And then another comeback story has occurred. Johnny Thomas went from a lap down to third place. He will be on older tires, though, and everyone else went and got some. So first three, Josh Robin, Andrew Rucker, Johnny Thomas, will be on old tires. And then it'll be Jared Rexing, Vincent Isabella, Richard Hines. Pole sitter Scott Crump has finally rebounded into the top 10. He's been involved in every other incident so far tonight, but has managed to make it work. And the 90 car, despite a lot of damage, up here in the top 10.
Yeah, I mean, Scott Crump, impressive, has shown some really good speed so far this season. One of our open cars that's kind of been running for, what speed is, what team? He's running for Ruthless Motorsports there. But yeah, great job getting the pole position there. Impressive. And I mean, yeah, we could see this 90 car. We could see a lot of these cars in contention at the end here.
Gotta mention while we're looking at Scott Crump as we go back green, Ruthless Motorsports team owner Brandon Key stepping away for some health issues. So we hope Brandon gets better soon and is able to rejoin us at the track during the week. He's been involved in a number of the leagues we all run, and yeah, we're wishing him the best. And another crash. Dusty Dewar.
While we get that replay up for that incident, Sam Dyer, you got something for us?
Yeah, I mean, you know, we talked about damage and cars trying to rebound. The biggest thing is a lot of these drivers have damage still. A lot of them, they're coming into pit road trying to service 20 seconds, 30 seconds for repair, and just hoping overall they can get repairs done the longer the race goes on and hope they don't add more to that. But a lot of these drivers still have been damaged and also underpowered is what's struggling with them, and this certainly is going to be a hard race, as that was the 32 that spun around looking like he'll be DNFing for the day.
Indeed.
Oh,
Tough. The toughest
Dusty
of breaks
Dewar
for
there.
Dusty Dewar. Was
Yeah,
running
having a
what,
fantastic
second?
run up to that point.
Running second and spun it off of turn 4. It has been a long night. We have hit lap 300, 200 laps to go for this one, and yep, about.
I will say 200 to 300 felt a little bit quicker than than what it seemed like that 0 to 100 was. So maybe there's some progress there. I'm being positive here. I'm looking up.
We hit our race summary here. Yeah, only 2 cautions since we last checked the race summary. We do have 9 lead changes. Josh Robin is the current leader on the race. It has just been a long night in Bristol. Difficult. The track wreaking havoc on all the drivers. Tempers flaring, certainly, and I'm sure that nobody wants to come back to Bristol except for maybe Josh Robin, who has been one of the dominant cars on the day.
Josh Robin back up to that top position. Look out, man. That 8 car looking very, very strong, and we've seen him in contention before for wins, and when the 8 car is on it, he's really, really on it, and very tough to beat. So again, promising run for Josh Robin. Did almost get caught up in an incident once or twice, but again, probably has one of the cleanest cars in the field right now.
He's been backwards. He was
has
backwards
been
in one of those
but
incidents.
didn't collect much damage from that. So, you know, that's a good incident to be involved in here in Bristol.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean, Josh Robin right now to me seems like he's got the best car out there. He's got a fast car, and he's been very clean with how he's been driving these races. There's still a long way to go, and a lot of things can happen very, very quickly, though.
Wow. So we have news from Dusty Dewar. His internet went out, and the screen froze, and that's what hung him to the left.
Oh.
Just devastating, man. He was in second. Oh, hate to see it. So everything. Ethan Burrell and Dusty Dewar both have fallen out due to the wayside mechanical woes. We've had guys go out due to crashes. We've had several netcode incidents as well. 15 cars on the lead lap. It looks like they're going to 16. Jordan Owens did keep it on the lead lap And that's a nice recovery for Jordan Owens. I think he was maybe 5 or 6 laps down at one point. 16 car back on the lead lap, had some damage early in the race. Another car that remains on the lead lap, Ryan Lutz, back in 15th, has just kind of maintained. His teammate Damian Leininger went out in one of those incidents with a blown motor.
I think you look at anybody in that top 17, and that includes Chad Frankenfield, who's 1 lap down, and any of those drivers could be in contention for this win at the end.
Yep, could be.
That's the kind
anything.
of race it's been so far. But we're going back to green flag racing. Josh Robin with the jump. And
Oh my! Oh my!
Whatever's happening there? What was that?
Andrew Rucker just loses it on the restart, and that's going to take out Scott Crump as well.
There was another car as well collected in there. A couple of other cars collected in there. But that just.
Oh my!
Let's take a look at the replay.
I hope Josh Robin knows to whoa up here. There's still cars sitting over here in turn 1.
Oh
Yeah.
Ooh, that was close. That was
So
Scott
Andrew
Crump, I believe,
Rucker-
just rolling.
Andrew Rucker unequivocally spun his tires. He's on older tires, and he definitely spun them. And we might want to grab the comment from Sam on the exact incident here, but it looked pretty clear to me.
Was saying as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, he really spun those tires, and that's one of the things that some of these drivers are worrying about is tire saving. It's still a little under 200 laps for these drivers to go, and some of them, they've only got about 4 sets left in their pit box, so trying to save and have as many tires at the end of the race, and that means a lot of drivers running on older tires and wheel spinning on the restart.
Going to be difficult here. Looks like Vincent Isabella gets a little touch on the right front. Not too much damage. Jasper Snett, a little touch. Scott Crump, the one who really gets a lot more damage. And then David Tooker, who's had just a miserable day. Rucker as well had really come back nicely up to the top 5 again. But now he'll be hurting badly, I think, this time.
Yeah, Rucker spun his tires. The thing that kind of stood out to me, though, is it looked like that 64 car just, once he got grip, started coming down, and that's what really started this incident. And that's where I was a little bit confused when we restarted this race. Potentially, yeah, we'll be able to see on board here from Johnny Thomas just exactly what happened on this restart. But it looked like that 64 came down on Johnny Thomas. Oh,
yeah, and I wanted to see Johnny drive it through the apron here and keep this car on the track without spinning it out. Did a marvelous job there. So big ups for Johnny Thomas. And he obviously had to keep pushing because the caution didn't come out right away. So smart of Johnny to keep it going, and the caution came out. And now he's in 3rd spot.
And Richard Hines, big shout out to Richard Hines, currently running P5, was involved in a number of an incident, I think 2-3 cautions ago. I've lost count. But started P25, maybe had a little bit of incidents early on, kind of worked his way forward, was in that top 10 that we were talking about with Dusty Dewar as well. And now he's running top 5. That 87 car, again, talk about a guy who knows how to keep his nose clean as long as the guys around him are able to as well.
Just a marvelous job by Richard Hines. And then let's go back to 7th place, Alec Balvans, last year's steward for this series, currently being able to switch and run in it. He and Ethan Resner doing a wonderful job for each series, stewarding and kind of keeping the peace as they can. Balvans running 7th today. He's been involved in his fair share of incidents just like everyone else. And then the third shout-out's got to be Harrison Talon. He has been involved, I think, in 5, maybe 6 incidents, and then, just keeps his nose clean, keeps it from blowing up, and here he is, back up into 10th spot.
Well, I don't know if it's nose clean. He hasn't got a nose.
That's exactly. Once the nose is exposed, you have to keep it clean. We'll also hit a guy who we did report on earlier, Josh Personette, on the lead lap, 14th spot. Got a little involved in that one, but he's going to be okay. Going to restart here from 14th.
Yeah, so again, there's a lot of guys who've got chances to make big points, and that's why you see a lot of different strategies going on here, and you're just kind of hoping to pick up the pieces when a lot of drivers potentially with egos start getting into each other. And well, we're back to green flag racing. Hopefully for a short time we're gonna do this again. Josh Robin with the early lead.
Big restart for Marcus Frucknicht and Vincent Isabella. Those guys went at the same time and now are jumped into the top 5. Frucknicht and Isabella trying to make their ground on the guys with older tires here. Ryan Gavel into 2nd, the points leader, looking to kind of put a bigger gap on the field here with a great run from the 1 car.
Yeah, Gavel's been thereabouts all race, really, hasn't he? He's, you know, fallen back a little bit towards the bottom half of the top 10, but that's been a top 10 car all race long, and he's showing pace to get past Josh Robin here. I believe, yeah, he's got significantly fresher tires, at least according to our timing and scoring, and that's certainly going to be helping him. But again, struggling a little bit to get past, and now it's Marcus the open cars, who's shown a ton of pace before, and he's looking like he might be a major threat for this lead.
Yeah, Marcus Frucknick has been fast all race, and right, Gavel bounces it off the wall. These guys have been in and out of trouble all night long, even the ones in second, kind of showing that they can make mistakes. And Josh Robin with old tires really pulling away from this Lake Norman Motorsports battle for second. As Frucknick looks like he'll get it, and looks like Jordan Owens went ahead and blew the motor on the 16 car. Tough break for him. He had just gotten back onto the lead lap.
Ryan Gavel around the outside, stays in the second position over Marcus Frucknick. Frucknick now going to kind of fall back a little bit to Jared Rexing. He's not, but Vincent Isabella, again, now inside that top 5. Here comes that 42 car. Can he pull anything off? He's got some pretty fresh tires, I believe.
Yes.
Some of the fresh tires inside this top 5.
Same fresh tires as Frucknick's.
All right, so yeah, here we go.
And
we'll
Rexing, actually.
Okay, so Rexing, Frucknick, I think Gavel as well all have a similar tire strategy as Josh Robin up front, who's kind of defending from these guys with these fresher tires.
Yep. Johnny Thomas also has older tires, but Johnny in a comfortable position where he can maintain. And then what about Harrison Talent? Brought this Bubba Wallace style number 23 car up to the 7th spot with no nose and a number of incidents early in the race. He's managed to keep it steady, though, and is running really well. Finished second on Sunday at North Wilkesboro. Kind of was one of those guys I thought might have an opportunity to sneak up and challenge for the win. Didn't look like it was going to happen early. It looks like Isabella might have gotten into the wall, and he's fallen into the clutches of Johnny Thomas.
Yeah, Harrison Talon has been extremely impressive in our truck series, grabbing a win last season in the trucks. Of course, like you said, second on Sunday, and this is his... technically, this is his first full-time season. Joined about the halfway point, maybe a little bit later than that, in 2020B. Got his charter at that point. But he's been impressive. He's been slowly working his way towards the front and is starting to look like a solid top 15 car every single week. And that's sometimes all you need to do to get into the chase. And he's looking very, very strong right now. Looks like he has a lot of pace in that 23. Great job by Harrison Talon. Big shout out there.
For sure. What a job by Josh Robin to defend off Marcus Frucknick. Frucknick looks really fast. Remember, he dominated the early portion of the race at on Milwaukee. For that 13 car fell off mid-race, and Ryan Lutz was able to capitalize and win, which was his 4th consecutive Elite Racing win. For now, though, Frucknick able to kind of hold serve behind Josh Robin. Robin with those older tires, not able to pull away, but the outside lane able to give him that momentum down each straightaway. And looks like we're finally able to click off some green flag laps. I worry about jinxing it, but
don't say that.
It's looking so good. It's just been nice having some battles. Jared Rexing taking 3rd from Ryan Gavel. Wonder if this 10 car can run down those guys that he was running with earlier before the caution came out. Battle for the lead once again.
Yeah, Frucknick to the bottom of Josh Robin. He's got those fresh tires. That bottom lane, though, not quite able to... It's going to be tough to get the job done on the bottom because you get such great runs off the top as Josh Robin gets back out in front. Big shout out to Josh Robin. The job he's been doing here tonight. I'd love to see how many laps has he led so far tonight, because this has felt like he's been up front for a long, long time in the state car. And there you go, over 100 laps led just now for Josh Robin. I'm super impressed by this 8 car. What a great run he's been having so far this race.
And what that doesn't show is that Robin went to the back at one point, got spun out completely, and then brought it back up to the race lead where he is now. And he's doing this on older tires, where he's holding off Marcus Frucknick and Jared Rexing and Vincent Isabella, all of whom have much newer tires. And into the top 5, 23 of Harrison Talon. What a keeping up the praise on this 23 and 42. Those two kind of running together through the field with damage, with incidents, with issues, and have overcome it completely, and hopefully can maintain for the next 170 laps.
Yeah, we'll see. Again, expect a lot of movement in this top 5 and this top 10 over the course of these next few laps. I mean, there you go. You got Andrew Rucker back inside the top 10 in 10th position right now. As
Oh.
That was very close there with Richard Hines, one of his teammates. Gerald Campbell back inside, or just outside the top 10. Josh Personette worked his way up to 12th so far. So much movement. Ryan Gavel down to 7th.
Yep, Gavel definitely struggling. Wonder if that damage is pretty significant, and the one car is just able to make those moves on the restart before it falls back. Now, this is what the green flag runs afford us, is the opportunity to see who's got the car without damage, who's got the cars that will run well and run poorly. And looks like Vincent Isabella's car blinked in and out, and it might have caused a stack up there. Yep, looks like that is indeed the case. He just... I don't think he even lost it. I think he lagged out and didn't know where anybody was.
Interesting. Yeah, we'll take a look. Sometimes when that happens, though, we're not quite able to get the replays for you guys. So
We'll see.
Yeah, no, guys, that's exactly just like what we saw for Dustin earlier. Screen going black and the car going down to the inside wall. Same thing here for Vincent Isabella. Just reported himself. The screen went black.
Yep, you can see it there. Very tough break for Vincent. And iRacing, over the course of a four-hour plus race, can't be expected to go forward. So we've seen him battle through a number of issues. He'll be back in 16th. He's on the lead lap. As long as the screen remains on, I think Vincent will be okay.
yeah, that's the big thing for him, and it looks like he's able to see his stuff now. He's kind of rolling around on the racetrack and seems to be better. The issue is as race control, you worry about, could this potentially happen again, right? And what dangers does that pose on the racetrack? So I think they'll obviously give him a chance here, but if it happens again, or if it takes him out completely, that could be the end of the day for the 42 car, and he was having a great run up until that point.
Looks like he's going to be able to keep going. So this just doesn't do it justice. He was multiple laps down early in the race. Absolutely want to give him the shout out that he deserves for such a good run. Let's take a look at the leader now, because it's Scott Crump right now.
Is that right?
Yeah, so the pole sitter has done his job, but looks like Marcus Frucknicht is going to win the battle off pit road. That will be your leader now. Josh Robbins second, Jared Rexing third, Johnny Thomas fourth off pit road, and then Harrison Talon in fifth.
Yeah, great job for Marcus Frucknicht off of pit road there. We'll hear what the status is there from Sam Dyer.
Webben Frucknicht, interesting to see. Don't know exactly what's going on with the 13, but I will say this: Jared Rexing, who is up in third place, caught speeding under pit road. Well, let's start at the back of the line.
Oh, tough break for Jared Rexing. He had really fought his way back to the front, had been involved in that incident with Ryan Lutz and Damian Leininger that took out two of the top running cars in this one. Looks like Vincent Isabella is also going to get a penalty of sorts. Not sure which one, or he's coming back down pit road. That's what it is. He's going to try to fix some more damage.
Both drivers were hit with EOLs. For Vincent Isabella, it was for causing the accident after a self-spin, and then for Jared Rexing due to speeding.
How are they giving him an EOL for the screen going black? I mean, you could tell he just it blinked on him and then he hung a left. I don't like that at all. I don't like them throwing down EOLs for those kinds of things. Those are completely unmanageable by the driver. The EOL should be a penalty for not things that are manageable. The things that are manageable, something that he could control. But our stewards are reviewing what we have now. 24 cautions. It's not like they've seen everything already. So we'll have to move on from that and head to the restart.
Yeah, we're getting ready to go back to green flag racing here. Lap 338. We will take over 339 of 500. We're getting there, right? 2.5 hours into this race. It is going to be Marcus Frucknicht, though, making the early move here on this restart, and there is gonna be enough room, though, for Josh Robin to slide up into second position. But look at who might be running in third here, assuming he can get by on that outside lane, on that preferred lane. That's Harrison Talon in that 23 Columbia car.
I wonder if Harrison's maybe got even a little less damage than we can view. Looks like the front nose has been torn off that car, but maybe it's a little bit better off than that. Like we kind of gone over, iRacing does shift the damage for the spectator versus the actual in-car a little bit. So perhaps Harrison's damage a little bit less than we're seeing, and that 23 car may be able to hold a little more speed as he's blown around Johnny Thomas for third and able to hold him off fairly well. I had wondered if this was going to happen. Marcus Frucknicht has finally grabbed the lead. It took him a really long time to get there, but he's done it and pulled away from the field. Now up at a second over Josh Robin. The 13 car has driven a marvelous race despite being involved in several incidents, just like just about everybody else in the field, and has finally got that fresh air that is really paying big dividends for him, though Robin looks like maybe he's eating back into it a little bit.
Yeah, it'll kind of come and go. Let's see what Josh Robin can do here. Everyone just came off of pit road, so everyone's got those fresh tires. But you know, it's all going to come down to just how your car is handling at this point. Frucknicht, Robin both probably have, I'd assume, some of the best handling cars here, as they've got some of the least damaged cars in the field. But I mean, Harrison Talon hanging on to the back of that 8 car as well, and at least as far as we can see, that's a pretty heavily damaged 23 car. So the handling could change a lot within these cars, and sometimes even having damage could switch the balance to a way that you possibly prefer.
I have to show this. Ryan Lutz has battled from way down in the running order after a big crash. He is now in 7th. But, you know, the dominant performance we were kind of expecting, not the one that happened tonight. Lutz has been forced to battle and work really, really hard, and he is going to earn whatever result he puts forth tonight. I think as that 42 car looks like it's pretty bad off, I think, overall. Ryan Lutz has battled really hard for every result he's gotten this week, has had the best of luck at Road America, Atlanta, and Erska, and then here tonight. This is an impressive drive, and to me, it's a little even more impressive that Ryan Lutz is able to buckle down when something bad happens to him and still come home, you know, up in the top 10, still running competitively.
Yeah, and you know what? I will say this. If you're the leaders and you see Ryan Lutz 4 seconds back from you on a short track, I'd be scared.
Mm-hmm.
No matter how much damage that 36 car has, I'd be scared.
He's got a chance. He's always got a chance is the thing. And as long as you're able to keep that car on track, keep the car from blowing up or running poorly with the damage, and it seems like Lutz is, he's going to have an opportunity maybe to capitalize on a late restart or something. But for now, you know, we're watching kind of also Jared Rexing pull through the field. This 10 car was involved in that one incident, but has been mostly clean after that and didn't seem to get a whole lot of damage from the incident. If he can work his way back up to the top 5 or so, that would probably spell danger for Marcus Frucknicht, maybe the only other car who could really stay with him. Frucknicht is pulled away by now 0.8 of a second over Josh Robin.
Yeah, we're nice and spread out right now, which is really really helpful. No super close battles on track, which honestly, while that might not be the best on track action, we're not, you know, there's no crazy excitement. Something we needed in this race, and something you need in a Bristol night race. Just kind of, again, we need these guys to hunker down. Let's get these long runs in. Let's get potentially, even if we can, you know, get that tire wear to play into it. We can then start seeing a lot of the playing. What guys are doing. We could see, you know, who knows, Josh Robin could also be saving his stuff a little bit. That's why he's a second back. He could come back at Marcus Frucknicht. That could all change so quickly, and we're getting that chance to really see strategy play out a little bit more now that we're getting this run.
It's kind of the thing we've been waiting for, I think, for a really long time, is the long run opportunity for this race, and we might be able to put one together here. 146 laps to go, or 144 laps to go, now 143. We're ticking them off. We're almost done.
Don't say that. Don't say that.
Remember, last time he said anything like that, a caution came out 5 laps later. So just want to state that. Also, Jared Rexing, update on the 10. He has been one of the fastest cars on track the last about 5 laps or so. That 10 coming with a head of steam. The issue, traffic. He's moved up a total of 5 positions so far since the green flag struck. And he had to go all the way back. He was in 3rd before he got struck with that speeding penalty.
I think if Jared Rexing could put a little track position together, he might have an opportunity to run down race leader Marcus Frucknicht. Josh Robin has been bouncing back and forth on about exactly a second behind Frucknicht. Wondering if he or Johnny Thomas could maybe begin to eat into the lead a little bit. But for now, it is all the 13 of Marcus Frucknicht, the Lake Norman Motorsports car that hasn't had issues with damage. Every other one has been upended in some way. And it's left this 13 car to kind of fend for the team. Ryan Lutz running 7th and doing a great job, but it's all Marcus Strucknick right now, and we finally got this this race a little bit spread out.
Yeah, and this is kind of that next part of the challenge that you've got here at Bristol Motor Speedway and these long races is how do you manage the traffic, right? And this could also be where we're seeing some of that ebb and flow in the gap between Marcus Frucknick and Josh Robin is Marcus Frucknick is having to be the first car to really go through a lot of these lap cars, the first one to navigate his way through. They really don't want to give up another lap to the leader, though obviously they will eventually move out of the way, but it should, in theory, be a little bit of a clearer path for the 8 car, for the 09 car, and everyone behind them. It's Marcus Frucknick who has to kind of make some of those moves and could potentially get in some uncomfortable situations just trying to get by lap cars.
Yeah, and you also have to note that you know, a second at a short track, just not very much actual space on the track. I mean, how fast these guys are going. They travel a second in a very short amount of, you know, a short distance in a second here. So the actual true distance to Marcus Strucknick, not a whole lot for Josh Robin, though. It looks like he's struggling a little bit with lapping Alex Balvans.
Yeah, so, and yeah, like I was saying, it could also go the other way where, you know, Marcus Frucknick could be handling the traffic beautifully, and it could be the 8 and the 09 car struggling. So it can go both ways, and it'll vary from car to car, and that's, again, another bit of depth that you get in the long runs here at Bristol Motor Speedway. This is, I'm enjoying this.
Up into 5th now is this 36 of Ryan Lutz. I think he's been waiting for one of these all night, just hasn't had an opportunity to get it, even though that car not particularly quick on the straightaways due to the damage, able to hold him off in the corners, able to run pretty fast lap times. You can definitely see how Rexing kind of catches him in the corner, and then Lutz gaps him in the, or other way around. Lutz gaps him in the corner, Rexing catches him down the straightaways. And these two kind of working there together, trying to get up through the field and get through the traffic.
Yeah, this is great little teamwork that we're seeing here. You know, I think both these guys know that they just need to kind of push forward, and I don't know how effective it is at something like Bristol, but
here goes Rexing.
Maybe not so much teamwork there, but a little bit of fighting there. But I was gonna say, just going nose to tail all the way around the racetrack, maybe there is just a little bit of a bump that can be given to the car in front, and both of you guys can speed up on those straightaways. Maybe there is a little bit of that at this racetrack, but you know, maybe not a ton. Also,
I kind of think Ryan Lutz is also driving angry. He sees the 10 car behind him. The 10 car is the one who wiped him out at the beginning of the race. He wants to keep that car behind him so he can pick up a good result and a better result than Jared Rexing. So definitely something Ryan Lutz is probably looking at while running here in front of this 10 car, though you can see just how much trouble it is once they have to drop to the bottom of the racetrack.
It is very, very difficult. They still struggling a little bit to get past the 31 and the 90 car. Jared Rexing dives to the bottom to see if he can make the move on Lutz. He's going to be side by side off the corner. Can he stay there, though? It looks like he's going to have to slot back in line. No, Jared Rexing still with a shot. He's right there on the bumper of the 36 car. He can try and make a move here. I just don't see that bottom lane really working out here for that 10 car.
It's definitely also wearing Jared Rexing's tires. You know, not able to keep that momentum up in the bottom. You have to really grind off a little more speed, and you can just see how much more effective he is running the top than Ryan Lutz. But when Ryan Lutz is in the top lane, Rexing has nowhere to go.
Yeah, absolutely. It's I mean, yeah, you're right now at a point in this this stint where it really is effectively a one-lane racetrack. There's one lane that really works for you. That's the fastest way around this track, and that's just running up against that wall, as close to that wall as you can get.
Well, while we're focusing on him, and we did talk about the K&P graphics the paint scheme of the race earlier with regard to Tyler Dixon, but the other car I would think to give it to is this 36 car. I mean, the silver is just glinting in the nighttime light at Bristol Motor Speedway right now. I'm really loving the way this 36 car looks, despite that we can't see the front nose of it right now.
Yeah, I don't think I've gotten a chance to see the full 36 car here tonight.
Oh, and they door slam it there. Lutz tried to get into Balvans.
And these guys are 3 wide there. They make it through. Balvans gives them the space. Credit to the 5 car there, but
you can see Ryan Lutz. Was driving with a vengeance there, really trying to keep that 10 car behind him. Just did not want to give up the spot to the guy who wrecked him earlier, and And Rexing tried to pin him behind Balvans. Lutz said no, but it ended up affording Rexing the clean track now to get away from Ryan Lutz. And that's how I would address any sort of grievance I would have on track. I think Ryan Lutz ran him really hard, pushed the envelope a little bit, and did a good job without like outright dumping somebody.
Yeah, absolutely. But now we're kind of starting to see that pace of that 10 car. You saw him bottled up behind Ryan Lutz, but now Jared Rexing pulling away already, a second in front of that 36 car and chasing down the 4th place car of Harrison Talon, and closing in on Marcus Frucknicht as a whole. That gap for the lead's also gone down to about 0.6 of a second.
Yeah.
About 1.2 seconds at its highest.
Yeah, I wonder if Marcus Frucknicht might have burned off his tires a little bit there early in the run. We had mentioned we thought maybe Josh Robin was saving his stuff up, and we did mention there might be a long run late in the race when the cars got a little bit more few and far between. You see Frucknicht there scraping the wall, though I think that might have been more of the old iRacing glitch there, where if you bounce it off the wall a little bit lightly, it won't hurt your car and hurt your speed at all, and you can carry a little bit more through the center. Frucknicht, though, not employing that strategy intentionally, it looks like, and Robin definitely eating into his lead.
Yeah, Josh Robin is definitely coming for Marcus Frucknicht, and again, you don't get to see this when you're doing all short runs, because effectively you're just pushing as hard as you can, because you don't know if you're going to be going green for the next 2 or 3 laps, or heck, if you're even going to make it 1 lap. But when you get this, you're really forced to focus on saving those tires. You're really
Frucknicht in the wall. That might give up the lead to Josh Robin.
Yeah, Josh Robin now has that preferred line at the top there, and he's going to go clean around the outside of Marcus Frucknicht. Struggling, looks like just tight in that 13 car, gets that outside wall, and here we go. Josh Robin back to the lead here at Bristol on lap 386.
Want to quickly just check. Marcus Frucknicht out front for 51 consecutive circuits there before Josh Robin able to take it back in this 8 car. So Robin has been strong all night and is able to get ahead of Frucknicht and pull away a little bit. Rexing is coming, though. This 10 car definitely the kind of key factor moving towards the end of this race. He is easily the fastest car on track and pulling both Robin and Frucknicht every lap. He is eating into the lead quickly.
Yeah, he was, I think, 2-3 laps ago, Jared Rexing, or maybe not 2-3, but 4 or 5 laps ago, Jared Rexing was 5 seconds back from the leaders. He is currently 3 seconds back from the leaders. This 10 car is a rocket ship right now. Jared Rexing, if he can keep the speed in that 10 car throughout this stint, right now is lapping about 0.3 of a second faster than anybody in front of him.
You can see just the time ticking off on our driver drop down here. We apologize for the different overlay. My version of the overlay just simply not working right now, and we're not sure what the deal is with it. I've even tried re-downloading the entire overlay process, and it just doesn't work. So once Rish is back up here in the productions booth, we'll have it normal for you. But for now, I think we got it working pretty well okay. And Jared Rexing just absolutely closing in. You can just watch that time tick down. I always find that kind of fun. We can't really see it visually. I'll try to maybe pull out and get us a visual of the lead here.
So fast here, and here he comes. There you can just see Josh Robin a little bit out of shot there, but you've got your top 4 here on that front straightaway. They're coming up to a lot of lap traffic too, so this could be very interesting.
Tough break for Zishan Dura to go a lap down there. You see him on the left side of your screen in the 01 car. Has been very strong all night, and in the top 10 a number of times. Moved his way through the field. Got spun out, I think, 1 time overall, but he'll take a 12th place run. He's had some rough go of things so far. Definitely liking how Zishan ran this race, and he's certainly going to get a good effort, even if he only brings it home up here in 12th spot.
Yeah, Zishan Dura, this is his rookie season in the Cup Series as well, so just getting the laps in is a huge part of it.
Oh boy,
3 wide there. That is scary if you're the leader, Josh Robin, watching that all happen right in front of you, knowing just how easy it is to get caught up in someone else's mess here at Bristol Motor Speedway. But they single out in front of him. They'll have to just hope that they roll this outside lane, which they don't seem to be doing too well.
This is going to hold Robin up drastically, I think, as he puts a lap on last season's champion, Chad Frankenfield. This is 8th, 9th, 10th, and 11th, all right here. Josh Personette into 8th around our points leader, Ryan Gavel, in 9th. Richard Hines in 10th. all of them really good runs, though Gavel, I think, the one who wishes he had a little more time. And while we were there, Jared Rexing has moved into second. He blew around Johnny Thomas and Marcus Frucknick. This 10 car is on a mission.
Yeah, this 10 car is absolutely flying. The gap has opened up to about 8/10 over. It was over Marcus Frucknick. Now Jared Rexing is back in that second position. He's closing down to 0.5 of a second. Josh Robin admittedly
Cuts the
stuck in
gap.
traffic here and having to thread the needle there in the middle between two lapped cars. That's certainly not going to help his.
Oh,
so
and
it's-
Jared Rexing gets into Richard Hines. Saved it.
They keep it rolling in the correct direction. We're not going to go to a yellow flag.
Good
No
save by
doubt that.
Richard. What a save by Richard Hines. And that will allow for Josh Robin to pull out a 1.3 second gap. Hopefully it didn't mess up Jared Rexing's tires. And now Johnny Thomas going to attack Marcus Frucknick for third.
Yeah, we've hit lap 400 here, 401 now. We've got just 100 laps to go in this race here at Bristol Motor Speedway. Does Jared Rexing have anything for Josh Robin? Can Josh Robin, the man who's largely dominated the largest portion of this race as any other driver, can he pull off the victory here? 124 laps led in that 8 car. An extraordinary drive by Josh Robin.
Josh Robin and Jared Rexing definitely been the most impressive drivers of the day. And, oh, man, we had another wad there in turn 4. Not sure if it's going to bring out a yellow. It looked like David Tooker was involved.
He keeps it pointed in the right direction.
We'll quickly hit the iRace Online replay for one glance at what happened there. Looks like a little bit of contact between him and Richard Hines.
Yeah, guys, over the radio, all the drivers, both Jared Rexing made contact with Hines, and there with Tooker, all drivers saying sorry to Hines as they've all just bumped him around like a pinball machine.
That's good. I don't think Hines was at fault for either of those incidents. Running 11th, doing a great job.
Yeah, just I mean, keeping his nose clean as much as he can with other guys coming into it potentially. But yeah, Richard Hines could make up some positions, just a second behind Ryan Gavel as well. The gap between Robin and Rexing has gone down again. It's now down to 0.6 seconds. That 10 car is coming once again. That did not stop him. With Richard Hines did not stop him from moving forward here. Jared Rexing, a man on a mission.
Yeah, 400 laps. We can we can afford a few misnames. We got a couple of J's up here. Three J's in the top 3 with Robin, Rexing, and Thomas all being a J name. Josh, Jared, and Johnny. Easy to mix them up, I think. And we've had Josh Adams in this race. Josh Clark has been in the booth with us. a lot of J's here in the Elite Racing League.
Lots of J. We talked about Josh Personette as well.
He's right here in front.
I'm blaming that on all of it. So there's too much stuff going on.
We're throwing it on Josh Personette here. He has really stepped forward in this race. We got to switch back to the battle for the lead, but a great job by Josh Personette to move up into the top 10 tonight. He's kept the nose clean all day.
Rexing going for a move on the lead. He's going to try and make that bottom lane work. Can he do it? Jared Rexing has been so fast, but again, that preferred lane belongs to that 8 car of Josh Robin. But Rexing, look at the speed he's carrying through the corners despite running that lower lane. And I think he's going to have it off the corner.
That is impressive by Jared Rexing. He did lead the last lap. And that 10 car is able to hold serve on the bottom. He's the only one on the track who's been able to do that. Last year, Jared Rexing had to win the last race of the chase in order to make, or the last race of the regular season in order to make it into the playoffs. This year, trying to win this Bristol Night Race and no contact. That'll clear him though. Jared Rexing to the lead.
Yeah.
Oh man.
With that 18 car just kind of taking that lane away from Jared Rexing, so he was trying to make that move as quickly as possible. Great heads-up driving by both of them not to spin it around, but yeah, here we go. They still have to get by that 18 car of Josh Personette, who's doing a great job at holding off these leaders from going another lap down.
It's not Josh Personette's job to worry about the battle for the lead. It's his job to drive his own race and keep this thing on the lead lap as long as possible and then keep it in the lucky dog spot as long as possible once they do find their way around him, and that's why caution's out.
There you go, and for Josh Personette, I think he was a nose ahead at the last timing line, and Josh Personette does not have to then worry about he doesn't have to worry about that.
I jinxed Zishan. I think jinxed Zishan. Saw the 01 car right there. spun out, and he's going to end up 2 laps down out of that. I believe Chad Frankenfield's going to get the waiver, or the lucky dog rather, and then if those guys that are 1 lap down are smart, they'll all take the wave around. Let's see what happened to Zishan Dura. iRace Online has been on our screens all night long, and we appreciate everything they do.
They are certainly ultra reliable tonight. This is a huge caution for a lot of the drivers up front. Josh Robin and others from the PRC guys, they were all talking about they were needing a caution. The tire wear just was so drastic. They needed to come down pit road, and this caution now puts us in the zone where all the drivers can make it to the end.
Yep. So here's the big pit stop, and Jared Rexon cannot speed on pit road this time. He can't drive through the field. He doesn't have the time this run. He's got to hold things off, and that was a good little green flag run. That was really fun to watch.
Oh, I absolutely I love that, man. That was great, and I'm totally fine with this being, you know, this caution to break it up here. Yeah, I'm curious to see now, you know, how are these guys going to do on tires? Who has the tires to really make it to the end here, and who can play with strategy a little bit? You know, if you've saved your tires up to this point, if we have 1 or 2 more cautions before the end, you've got an advantage that not too many other people have. And if you're relying on a long run, then yeah, you could definitely make a difference, and we could see someone else pop up into this picture if they're able to throw on a fresh set of boots when no one else can.
Right, and we don't have the count of tires remaining, I don't believe, afforded to us. But Jared Rexing does win the race up pit road.
We don't have the number, but there's some drivers that I haven't had to come in for multiple times to get damage repair. So, I mean, for Josh Robin, most likely he still has about 3 sets, probably now about 3 to 2 sets to work with as well for Johnny Thomas. And those are the drivers that really haven't used too many pit stops, which what's incredible to see is we've only got ourselves with 19 drivers still running. But who knows if they'll still be running by the end of this race.
Oh, man. And we've had guys popping in and out of the lobby trying to pick up a few extra spots here and there. We lost some of our good competitors, and definitely want to shout out some of these guys that have still managed to keep it going. Michael Goodman going to end up with a top 20 if he keeps this thing rolling. Has been pinballed around a couple of times tonight. Same for Tyler Dixon. Done a pretty good job of keeping the nose clean aside from the wreck that cost him 36 laps. Just frustrating and for sure for the do-good guys there, but they are going to end up with good runs. We've had Hank Steinmiller. We've seen him kind of jumping on the track with fresh tires. Going to end up maybe with a top 20 finish if he keeps running. And then there's Rusty Capel, who is 24 laps down, the first of our kind of guys who are way back.
Yeah, so you've really got 15 cars still in the mix for the most part, though I'd even say David Tooker is 4 laps down. It's unlikely he's going to get a lucky dog situation or a wave around situation that could bring him back into this race. The guys who are 1 or 2 laps down, still definitely in it. I would not count them out.
Yep, we only have 9 cars in the lead lap for now, though, and then you can see them all on your screen. Green flag is out once again, and Jared Rexing is gone.
So now the question is going to be, how strong is that 10 car on a short run? We saw how good he was on the long run and how he preserved his tires. But here comes Josh Robin already with a great restart, trying to get back to that 10 car. Is Jared Rexing carrying that speed all throughout this run, or is it he has to really kind of work towards that long run? Where's the speed in that 10 car exactly?
Oh, that's the question for everybody, and oh, man. Just like that, another caution is out. Ryan Lutz up into 4th, though. I was just about to mention him, that this 36 car has found his way into 4th spot, and that's dangerous for the rest of the field.
Yeah, that caution was David Tooker in the 19, just self-spinning it, got on the throttle a little bit too early with the fresh tires, and around the back end went.
Just a miserable night for David Tooker, and yet he's still going to run 15th or so. I don't know that there's really any, as long as he stays on track, there's really no way David Tooker can lose that 15th spot unless he piles it into the wall. So just a poor night for Tooker, but he's going to get a good result. And yep, just as Sam described, doesn't look like he hit too hard.
Gerald Campbell, going to be your lucky dog here on this restart. Looking through the field of drivers, I mean, we talk about drivers that have been involved in incidences, a couple of laps down. Joshua Clark right now is 160 laps down, right now in 29th position, but still running laps somehow.
We've
Massive
talked.
shout out to Joshua Clark. He's had a new engine put into this car. This current engine has been heavily repaired. I don't even know if he put a third engine into the car. Joshua Clark has had a wild night. He's running 29th position right now, but I think he's just having fun with it.
And if he finishes the race out without going too many more laps down, he can get up into 24th position. He might even be able to get 21st or 23rd. I don't know if he'll have enough time to catch Vincent Isabella, who's 21st, 78 laps down right now. But yeah, this 28 car, we have to shout him out. He's going to pick up more spots the rest of the way. He's going to pass Damian Leininger, Josh Adams, Chuck Sweeting, Tyler Fode. Some big names there that he'll be moving past, and that could be important come playoff time later on this season.
It absolutely could. We've talked about points being separated by just a single point. Josh Clark, known for just eking out every possible point from a race. Even if you don't have a race-winning car, he's just always there. And yes, he obviously isn't going to be looking Mr. Top 15 or Mr. Top 10 here tonight. But if he can grab 3, 4, 5 extra points there from going from 29th to 24th or 23rd, that's a huge points haul. And can make all the difference if he doesn't have the win when it comes down to the final race of the regular season.
Yep. This guy knows all about that. Jared Rexing was able to make that happen last season, getting that last win of the regular season, and I think he actually forced Vincent Isabella out of the playoffs. This race has been long, but we are down to 76 laps to go. 26 cautions. Really, I was thinking they were going to be over 30. So should we maybe go green the rest of the way? I think we would have maybe undercut my expectations.
That's a bold expectation to say we'll go green the rest of the way, though.
True, but you never know. And there's 2 or 3 more cautions to go. I was expecting more than this, honestly. I thought it was going to be far worse. I think the guys have really mellowed out and done a pretty good job since about a halfway point in this race.
Yeah, they've definitely figured out the correct pace and the correct aggression to tackle this race with. I think there was just a little bit too much early on in this event, but we kind of got guys settled out. They started realizing that, hey, there are some consequences to just throwing the car in, on lap 130 of 500 when running for 15th position. But they've learned their lesson. They seem to be doing pretty okay right now. Pace car is going to peel off on lap 426.
There goes Rexing.
Released them pretty late, actually, there down the back straightaway. But he gets a nice big jump and is clear over Josh Robin.
The two that hurt the most was Johnny Thomas and Harrison Talon. They're going to fall to 6th and 7th. The one that it benefits the most, Ryan Lutz, into 3rd.
I was just going to say, I just noticed who's in 3rd position. It is that 36 car Ryan Lutz. Cannot count him out at any short track, no matter what. Or honestly, at any track this point. Ryan Lutz, that 36 car, always strong. He wants to be regular season champion this year, and this is how you do it, by just toughing it out, despite that car being, a heap of junk after this event, and just grabbing as many points as you can.
Hey, big shout out to Andrew Rucker too, man. What a comeback! What a pair! What a trio! What a quad! He's come back a lot of times tonight. That 64 car has been back to the back, multiple laps down, nose taken off of it, spun some people out, been spun out. P6. He's actually done a really good job as the caution waves again. And, yeah, maybe I was a little too overambitious with hoping we could go to the rest of the way.
A little bit too excited. There's the 0-1 wrecking on the backstretch. And, I talked about and I threw out how Joshua Clark is 160 laps down. I didn't actually throw out. He was in pit road for over an hour trying to get repairs done.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Josh told us that he went ahead and got a beer, and you have that much time, easy. You just kick back, watch the broadcast and on the Elite Racing Network, and enjoy yourself. You see Zishan. That's not even going to hurt Zishan. He really has had a good day despite that incident, and a 13th place run is nothing to sneeze at in the Elite Racing Cup Series.
No, absolutely not. An impressive run for Zishan Dura there, and you just kind of want to keep building on that.
There we go.
Ooh, okay.
Mind games.
There we go. So,
I like this.
16 laps on the tires of Rexing Robin and Rucker. Frucknick, Lutz, Johnny Thomas coming to grab an extra set. Just a little advantage. That's all they want. They just need that little bit to go get Jared Rexing with. I think this is a great call by all these guys. I mean, what's the worst you're going to finish right now? There's 11 cars in the lead lap, so just outside the top 10 is the worst you can do by doing this, and as long as you don't get wrecked out, obviously. But you don't want to do that no matter what. I think this is a great move by this quad or 5 set of cars.
Yeah, great job by this quartet.
There you go. That's it. That's what I was looking for.
This is a must. Like, you have to make this move, especially for Marcus and for Johnny as well. Both those drivers, they have quick cars. The only issue is they've got so much damage. The tire advantage is the only thing that they can get that possibly will let them rival the 10 and the 8 right now.
I don't know that Johnny Thomas even has that much damage. Have we seen him involved in anything besides the Rucker deal on the restart? I can't recall this 09 car being involved in anything.
Slammed earlier around like lap 260, and then he got hit again around lap 300, and then that Rucker incident. So he's been scraped up a few times, but...
Yeah, that Jared Rexing car took a big shot on lap 80 or so. This is where I really wish we were a more professional broadcast where we could just cut to video of the big Rex and show you guys Jared Rexing pile driving Ryan Lutz into the wall trying to avoid Jordan Owens. Josh Robin made an incredible evasive move on that wreck and has therefore positioned himself as one of the top drivers in this race. Rexing has led 27 laps so far. Robin has led 132, and these guys have really dominated the second portion of the race. And then we have to big shout out Josh Personette, man. He's up into 4th spot. He's gonna have the good outside line on the restart. He'll have the track position, but the fresh tires will be right behind him, bearing down on him. So as long as he's up in 4th, gotta give him a shout out for a good run.
Yeah, big shout out. I mean, Josh Personette, what a great job so far in this race, and he's on the same strategy as Rexing and Robin, and Rucker as well there. So the big challenge is going to be how do you hold off the guys from 5th on back? Marcus Frucknick, Johnny Thomas, Harrison Talon, Ryan Lutz, all these guys who came, or Harrison Talon, but all these guys who came down 4 tires. Jared Rexing's going to get that big jump up front, but there you saw just the quick restart that Marcus Frucknick had, and he's going to kind of push Rucker out of the way almost as you can just see the pace advantage through the corners.
Oh boy!
These guys with tires.
Just having watched Andrew Rucker tonight, and there he goes.
Ooh,
Never mind. That's what I was gonna say. I wasn't gonna get in the back of Andrew Rucker if I'm on the track right there. I'm gonna do my best to avoid that. He has kind of been a pinball tonight, and I think that might be it for the old 64 car.
Looks like it might have been some netcode involved there. We'll grab the iRace Online replay once again, but yeah, not been the night for Andrew Rucker. It has not been a lot of drivers' nights. We'll put it that way.
Well, Rucker's had done a great job of battling back, but here tries to clear Josh Personette, and yeah, the netcode just sends him to the inside wall. Clears out Hank Steinmiller for good old time's sake. Hank's been on and off pit road. He's 100 laps down. Oh yeah.
Tucker goes through as well. Hanks was in pit road for a long time, trying to get repairs to get back out there. I think he just got back out there that previous restart, and now his day is practically done.
Yep, this has just been a long night in this one. Very difficult to wait. You have to have really a lot of mental fortitude, and these guys have done a fantastic job for the most part of keeping their heads. It can be difficult to sit in the chair for 4 hours and try to drive. It's difficult enough for us here in the booth to try to pick up what's happening on track and flip the cameras and whatnot.
Yeah, big shout out as well here to David taking over the productions role here for tonight. It's been a long race, and going through all those cameras, man, it's not easy all the time, and it's a great job that you've been doing here, dude.
I'm doing my best. I love this, man. It's fun, and this is where I get to pick my favorites and try to celebrate good runs. And here's one right here, and Richard Hines has really done a good job. It's one of those, we're running out of new guys to talk about, so we're having to revisit the guys that we've talked about having a good run. in such a long race and with so few actual guys to visit, Richard Hines has kept the nose clean for the most part. I mean, comparatively and otherwise been just a fantastic drive tonight. Been pinballed a little bit, but looking at a top 10 finish, and that would be really impressive at Bristol.
Yeah, it'd be a great run for Richard Hines if he can hold it off and stay in that position. Yeah, I mean, like I said a few cautions ago, who knows how many cautions ago it was, but everyone has a comeback story here tonight or of some kind. Everyone's been through some kind of setback and they've had to come back through the field or do something different to get themselves back towards the front, or they've fallen back again, and it's just going to be whose comeback story is at its peak at the very end of this race is really what it is, because everyone's been up and down this field all over as we're running. What is this, caution number 27?
28, actually. Yep,
28?
caution 28.
Oh boy.
Remember, I thought there was going to be 30, so just saying.
Yeah, I don't think I ever threw out a number. I mean, I think the most cautions I've ever done for a race was maybe 24, but I've never done an actual full Bristol race before, so this is a first for me. And you know, we've had a couple of long green flag runs that's really helped out. I thought maybe we were gonna have a caution fest the whole entire time, but they've surprised us with a 75 lap green flag run, a couple of 20 lappers here and there. So overall, a good day for the guys.
Now, I wanted to double check. The most cautions ever in a NASCAR Cup Series professional race at Bristol was 20. And the most cautions in a Cup Series race ever was 22 at Charlotte Motor Speedway, I think, in 2005. So
we are record holders.
We are record holders, but again, we're not NASCAR drivers here. We're mostly amateurs, and the three guys I think that have a reasonable, realistic shot at this one fire it off. And Marcus Frucknicht with fresh tires, he's gotta go. He's got to go as soon as possible and try to take the lead away from Jared Rexing.
That's the biggest thing. He's got to be patient. Don't want to punt a driver out of the way, right? Marcus Frucknicht, he knows he's got this pace over these cars in front of him right now. Or Jared Rexing now is the only car in front of him. But he knows he can beat him through the corner. He just needs to be patient, get it lined up, and make it work. He's got that tire advantage. It's going to keep getting just better and better in theory. Just take his time with it. He's now on the quarter panel there of that 10 car. He's to the inside. Now just start working him. This is where it kind of starts. You don't want to be that loose off the corner.
That's not what you want to do if you're Marcus Frucknicht. You don't want to warm up those tires and really end that advantage. I mean, remember, there's only about 16 laps between the 10 and the 13 here on tires. So, yeah, I wouldn't want to warm those things up too much and lose that advantage. He is right on the back bumper of Rexing. Rexing's going to have to work for this one. We're nearly at 50 laps to go.
Yeah, nearly there. It's going to be tough for Rexing to hold on to this one. He's on that older tire strategy that just makes it, again, tires are so important here at this racetrack. I'm sure Jared Rexing would love a caution in the next couple of laps here. Almost equalize or reverse what happened, what Marcus Frucknicht, what Ryan Lutz, Gerald Campbell, a lot of those drivers did.
Nope, they're wrecking behind, boys.
Oh,
Wrecking and battling for 5th place, and yellow flag comes out. Lutz didn't hold the brakes and came up and took someone out.
The iRace Online replay is going to show an interesting story and paint an interesting picture here. And I think the 36 car is going to be done for the night. 450 laps on that one. We'll try to get the more zoomed in shot here of Ryan Lutz battling with Josh Personette.
Oh, it was Balvance that...
Johnny Thomas gets into him there. And I think that's not a... Lutz didn't hold the brakes. Certainly was taking the foot off the pedal there, as it were, and probably out of some frustration, 450 laps of battling back, trying to pick up that good top 10 run, and gets bumped in the rear by Johnny Thomas. And let's maybe try to take another look from perhaps the rear chase on Lutz and see whether or not there was any net code issues there. Not sure maybe what the stewards thought of that one.
They said net code, and I will say, race control, they seem irritated by saying net code over and over again. They're kind of tired of saying it. I think if anything, they want to say something different, but it has been net code almost everything throughout the night, and that was something that the drivers were told by like the second or third caution. Race control were like, hey, these last two cautions, they've been net code, and that might be something we see most of the race. and it certainly has translated into that. And coming to 50 to go, less than 50 to go. Whew, we are almost done, boys. And it really does look like a 3-horse race on who's going to win this.
We might get this in before midnight. How about that?
No way. All right.
You just saw
well,
the
jinxed
bump
us.
there, and
Thank you. You did. Why are we doing this to ourselves?
Yeah, this is just we don't learn. That's the problem. We never learn.
so Jared Rexing did come down and take tires. To update that, it will be Marcus Frucknicht and Ryan Gavel, the only ones on old rubber. Everyone else has fresh rubber now, so it will be Rexing starting third with fresh tires. Everyone else went and got maybe their last set, maybe their next to last set of rubber. Frucknicht and Gavel on that. Hopefully they can hold them off, get some quick cautions strategy, but I think the fresh rubber is probably going to win out, and therefore you have to look out for the 10 and the 8 of Jared Rexing and Josh Robin.
Well, yeah, you got a reverse situation of what happened on the last or 2 restarts ago, right? Where you had guys coming down, grabbing that 15 or so lap newer tires, and now you've got the guys who didn't pit on that last caution pitted on this recent caution. So we'll see. I mean, we'll see how it pans out and how guys are able to hold on. Like you said, I fully expect. I think Jared Rexing should be the fastest car here launching off. I think with those tires. He's shown the speed in general here so far today. Right now on this run, assuming it goes for more than 5 or so laps, expect Jared Rexing to move his way up to the front.
Had a question from the booth there. Viewer Tucker Knaus asking about how many cautions. That was the 29th one, Tucker. We're almost done. I predicted 30 before the race, hoping that we can be done before 30 and we can get the rest of this one in this last run. For now, Marcus Frucknicht leads Ryan Gavel, Jared Rexing, Josh Personette, and Josh Robin, the top 5. Robin just blinked out, though, and hopefully that doesn't last.
We'll see here, but it's going to be Frucknicht, again, picking that bottom lane, which is interesting, working with his teammate Ryan Gavel, I think, there, so that those two get in line up top. Though Gavel, I think, pretty happy as Rexing really struggled off the 2 there.
Rexing doesn't like new tires. You can see it.
Ooh.
And he gets pounded by the... Oh, man. Did Rexing just throw the race away?
He's not a fan of those new tires there. Jared Rexing falling all the way down to 7th position. One of the fastest cars on a long run, but does not have the comfort level that he needs on the short run here. Dropped down to 7th position right now, fighting with Joshua Personette and Harrison Talon. When he realistically, the pace in that car should tell us that he should be fighting Marcus Frucknicht and Ryan Gavel for the lead. Right now, it's now Josh Robin's chance to try and take that win away from those Lake Norman Motorsports cars running 1 and 2.
And how about Jared Campbell? What a comeback run for him. He had gone a lap down in the long green flag run, now up to 4th. We'll see if the 31 car can keep on going and keep moving through. But this, the damage has been pretty substantial for him, and the tire advantage is pretty much all he has. Johnny Thomas still in 5th spot. Not much else he can do besides try to chase down Josh Robin and hope those guys start to get in one another. Try to keep our eye on Jared Rexing here, though he seems to be locked in that 7th spot for now, waiting for those tires to come in. There he goes now to the inside.
Here we go. Josh Robin, though, up to 2nd position past Ryan Gavel. Here we go. This is where we're going to see that kind of tire competition up front for the lead. If Josh Robin can get to the back of Marcus Frucknicht, how's that battle going to fare out? Does Josh Robin have enough grip on those new tires to make the move and make the pass there? Potentially with an update on the 10 car, do we have Sam Dyer?
Yeah, he got loose on this restart and really not feeling confident to get up front. I was trying to talk to Jared and just trying to get in his mindset. He feels like maybe there's a shot, but he does not feel confident after being loose on that restart, and primarily a lot of frustration in that team after Balvance having a good day, him being taken out by Lutz.
Ooh. Yep, tough break there as Lutz had kind of backed off the gas pedal and allowed the car to roll up the track. The battle is for 3rd now as Robin closing in on Frucknicht. Now Campbell into 3rd around Gavel. Thomas will work into 4th around Gavel as well. So, with Gavel hit the wall there, that'll lose up some spots. The
Can he save it? Can he save it?
Ryan
Oh,
Gavel.
he might. What a save by Ryan Gavel.
Oh, and they
no.
crash anyway.
Oh, no. Oh,
They took him out.
no.
Ryan Gavel ends up spinning after an incredible save. Well, look, at least we'll get to jump onto the iRace Online replay and take a look at Ryan Gavel's save. My goodness.
Man,
We get to watch him
iRace-
save his car and then watch as cars just crash into him. Man, that is brutal.
everyone on the radio is like, "Wow, Gavel, what a save!" And then, yeah, that happens. Oh no. Oh,
Bounced it
God.
off the wall there, and you see this. Hands
Sideways through 1 and 2, completely sideways through.
hands
Save-
to the right, back to the left, keeps it up, and hey, there's cars in your way. On the brakes. That was all the contact he made, except for when he bounced off the wall. So he spent an entire lap spinning out.
Yeah, Zayshawn was the one that got loose out of 2, got into Gavel the hardest, and Jordan Owens came sliding across his nose.
We'll take a quick look at those guys kind of pushing into him there. Right now, I think they maybe got distracted a little bit by that car on the inside. Both cars jumped loose on Jordan and Zishan. Definitely a possibility there. That saved Marcus Fruchnick, though, is the thing. And Fruchnick does come to get tires. So they, again, reverse strategies. Fruchnick wants that fresh rubber. And Gerald Campbell as well. Everyone else staying out. Josh Robin leads Johnny Thomas, Josh Personette, and Jared Rexing.
So the difference this time is Fruchnick is now going to be restarting likely in that 8th position. That's a little bit further back than last time around. There's a lot more cars with those used tires. They're maybe not as used. How many laps do they have on these tires? All the guys in the top 7 in front of Fruchnick. If we have that information.
Let's see what happens when he gets out here. It looks like he's going to get out 8th, so there will be 7 cars on track, and then 16 laps on the tires in front of them, 17 now that they've crossed the line. Not all of them run under green flag conditions, but I think most of them, 13 or 14.
Yeah, so
I don't know if there's going to be enough time.
It's very much going to depend, right? I think if we've got a long run here, you look at Marcus Fruchnick. If we're looking at maybe 2 more short runs to finish off this race, or 2 or 3 more short runs, it's tough to bet on that 13 car, because I think the guys with track position, it takes some time to get up to speed there to get that to really work, especially when guys are so closely packed together. So, I mean, we'll see, right? I think Marcus Fruchnick changing things up. He's on a different strategy. I think you've kind of made your bed now. You're lap 470. You've made it to this point. I think whatever tires you're on here, you're on these to the end.
I think you're right. Let's jump in, I think, and we can grab Ryan Lutz and pull him into the waiting room after kind of a disappointing day. See if maybe Lutz can shed some light on it before we go back to green, or maybe as we go back to green here. So bringing in Ryan Lutz now. Ryan, tough break for you there tonight, man. You've really battled back after that early incident.
Yeah, we had a pretty good car in the beginning, and we just got flattened there. I don't know, lap 50 or whatever it was, or 80, and we were digging, man. We were trying as hard as we could, and we were up there, I don't know, 4th or whatever, and we got involved in that wreck then, or race. But it was none the it was a no give up attitude. We stuck in there.
Ryan,
Yeah, Ryan, I mean, great runs up to that point, but you kind of expect that sometimes. Bristol, it can be a pretty hectic track, especially when you're doing a race as long as this, 500 laps. I mean, as we have another caution come out, our 31st of the day, record number of cautions here tonight. But I mean, just what was the general feel on the racetrack? What were drivers doing? What's had it so that this race has been so crash heavy, to be pretty blunt?
I really don't know. I think it's just drivers being impatient, to be honest with you. I mean, I was in the first part of the race. I was just riding, dude. We had a really good car, and I knew we were gonna lead a lot of laps, and I was just biting my time one at a time on the bottom. I don't know, lap 50 or whatever. Then we came down pit road. We were fine, and then all of a sudden, I just got destroyed. It wasn't even like it was close, and I don't know. We just had that all night. I think it's tough when you don't get that long run, and it doesn't everyone's just so impatient because they know cautions are coming, so they just do whatever they can to get track position.
Yeah, for sure, Ryan. And did you end up getting contacted by that netcode at all? I don't know if that ever plagued you, but we've seen several feet of netcode from some of these guys where just the car is not where it's supposed to be, and it sends somebody completely sideways on the straightaway.
Yeah, I was trying to pass Personette there. We had such a good car through the corners, but we were getting smoked out of straightaways because I had 4 minutes. I had 6 minutes optional, then I was back down to nothing, and then I got 7 minutes optional, then I was back down to 3 right there, and we were like missing half a motor, but we were keeping up with them enough in the corners, and I couldn't clear Personette, and then Gerald got next to me, and then all of a sudden it was a 3-foot netcode and sent us head on. I don't know if it's because the builds that they just did on Tuesday, or if it's our graphics at this high detailed track with this many cars. I really don't know, but netcode's been a huge issue tonight, and it definitely took us out of the race.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, Johnny was behind you there, and it looked like it was pretty far from you. That contact got made. So, yeah, tough break for you, man. But I think you're gonna end up either 15th or 16th, maybe 17th at worst. So not really the worst points day for you.
It wasn't that bad. We definitely had a top 5 car. If not, I thought we had one of the best cars, and just it is what it is, man. These races are so crazy sometimes, and we were just hanging on with no radiator up there and driving it as hard as we could. So I mean, it was a good race for us. I mean, we led some laps, got some points. So I mean, we'll take what we can get out of here.
All right, thank you so much, Ryan. We'll let you get back to your teammates here for the end of the race.
The 36 or the 13 can hang on.
Yep, just spun out the 23 there, so we'll see if he can make his way through the field.
All right, keep digging.
All right, thanks, buddy. That was Ryan Lutz, driver of the 36 car, and one of the guys who's locked into the race for the playoffs. The battle for the lead is between 3 or 4, maybe 5 guys who have not won a race so far this season, and that being Josh Robin, Johnny Thomas, Jared Rexing, Josh Personette, and then probably Marcus Frucknick, the only other one, maybe even in contention. We're going to have to see if anybody can catch this 8 car. He has really led a lot of laps tonight. 142 of them.
Josh Robin needs to be proud of this result as a whole. It's been just a fantastic race for this 8 car. He's led a ton of laps. He's shown a lot of speed in any situation from early in the race and is still doing so late here in the race. Well, I think we'll be talking to Josh Robin in some capacity at the end of this race.
100%.
That 8 car is strong. Here we go, restarting, and he's going to have the support of his teammate as well. Joshua Personette behind him. If Personette can clear Johnny Thomas off of 2,
nope,
that could be big, but nope. Thomas makes it to 2nd position, and this is where these guys with the fresh tires could potentially come into play.
Now, the freshest tires are Marcus Frucknick and Ryan Gavel, and they are mired in traffic right now. Going to be very difficult for either of them to make any headway. It is down to these 3. 20 laps at Bristol, not much time at all. As Rexing going to put pressure on Johnny Thomas now for that 2nd spot. That's where the battle is, and if Rexing can get by Thomas quickly, that might be enough.
Yeah, Jared Rexing looks to the inside line here, and he's made this work before. We know he's able to do so, and he's got to that point on the 09 car. It's 10 versus 09. What can they do against each other? Johnny Thomas, though, hugging that outside wall, and that's enough to keep himself in front of that 10 of Jared Rexing so far.
Massive lead for Josh Robin is gone, just like that. Caution out on the back straightaway. Oh, my goodness gracious. Richard Hines around out of the top 10.
Talon as well.
And Harrison Talon as well. Another spin for him.
Well, now is the tough decision. Right now, I think Marcus Frucknick feeling comfortable and confident, felt like he had a car that could catch up and possibly make the pass for the lead. But now's the difficult decision, with it being less than 20 laps to go. Do you come in for tires if you still have a set left?
Just the same wreck we've seen all night long. Someone bounces it off the outside wall and collects the car underneath them. Don't know that either of those cars are done. They're both the last 2 cars on the lead lap, so almost no spots lost by that. And man, we're so close to finishing it off here. the question, as you mentioned, is who's going down pit road for tires. I don't think anyone is. And Ryan Gavel might as well. Josh Personette will grab some additionally.
Why not? Honestly, you know what? I was just thinking about it. I know what I said on the last caution. I'm changing my mind. If you are running, honestly, I was even going to say for Marcus Frucknick, if you're running 5th on deck, why not? It gives you an even bigger advantage in terms of tires. It's a gamble, but I think the speed that you can carry on the restart through 1 and 2, if you can make that work, if you can find that gap, you could gain a lot of positions. You could definitely have a very positive result, like a top 3-esque result, even if you didn't have a top 3 car.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I think it's a great call. I think by Josh and Ryan Gavel. They probably also want to pick some of the damage. I think Gavel was involved in the caution before this one, and maybe staying on pit road a little bit longer. But we'll hit the driver summary of Josh Robbins' day once again. We have so many Joshes in this series, I swear. Robin has led now 150 circuits tonight, and that will, I believe, be the most. Ethan Burrell led a number of other circuits. Marcus Frucknick's been out front. Jared Rexing's been out front. We've seen Ryan Lutz out front. But for now, it's been Josh Robin for the last hour and a half or so. And this 8 car trying to get it to victory lane and lock himself into the playoff.
Well, we'll roll around for a couple more caution laps here before we get back for hopefully our final green flag run.
Oh, no, you've done it now.
Okay, guys, I want to say this right now. If we do this one more time of saying stuff that we're not supposed to be saying, we're getting ourselves in trouble. It's a long race. We're almost to the end.
We're so close.
But, it's just a second reflex at this point. But yeah, I need to
Richard Hines did get an EOL. Also, just to let you guys know, I will be leaving you guys once the checker flag waves. So I'm going to go to a different broadcast after this one. So
oh, man.
We'll see how this one goes down.
Hopefully they finish it
you.
off.
Yeah, if we don't get back to you, Sam, thank you so much. Great work down on pit road. Was amazing having you here for this race.
It was awesome, guys. It was honestly my first time trying to be a pit reporter, and it was fun. And thanks for the experience.
Yeah, no problem, man. It was great having you. And with that, we will hit this final restart and see if Johnny Thomas or Jared Rexing has anything for Josh Robin. Initial returns are that no, they do not.
Yeah, Josh Robin, great restart once again. Gerald Campbell, though, is going to clear Johnny Thomas, and now you're going to have 2 PRC Motorsports cars running 1 and 2. That could be interesting for sure. Does Gerald Campbell have anything for his teammate?
Gerald Campbell, man, shot out of a cannon there, looking pretty sporty. The tires are a little fresher, but not that much fresher than Josh Robbins. I don't.
Very interesting.
We've seen that 31 car fall very quickly once the field gets green and strung out. But yeah, early on, he was able to kind of hold it with Robin, now falling back ever so slightly into the clutches of Jared Rexing and Marcus Frucknick.
I think
10 laps to go.
To check up a little bit here as he's seeing Robin blinking, and that's not what you want to see when you're the leader of this race on lap 490 of 500. But here comes Frucknick, those freshest tires, or not the freshest, but fresh from that previous caution. He's loose off the corner, though. He's pushing it very hard into the corner, and he's not able to get the runs off that he needs to make these overtakes.
Rexing knew.
Cannot get past Gerald Campbell.
Rexing knew he had to make that move before Frucknick dove underneath him. Now he just needs to defend from this 13 car. The laps are winding down now. Josh Robin has set sail and is pulling away from this battle for second.
Yeah, Josh Robin right now loving the fact that these guys are dueling it out for second place, loving the fact that Gerald Campbell is doing whatever he can to hold on to that position. Josh Robin, what a run he's had so far tonight. Led the most laps tonight. That SMRI Productions car has been looking great under the lights here at Bristol Motor Speedway.
Yep, brilliant run there for Josh Robin, and we hit back to be able to take a look at the battle for second, though it appears that it's just a stalemate right now. No one able to really move past the 31 of Campbell. Rexing may be getting a little bit frustrated with the 31 car blocking for his teammate, But at this point, Campbell going for points, trying to kind of make his way into the playoff. And if you can't win a race, you might as well get that top points paying position of second spot. The battle now for third.
Yeah, and we talked to Gerald Campbell earlier in the season about how he's taking that much more aggressive approach to races, and it's been working for him this season. Some much better results in that 31 car, and again, right now running second position. He's now got Marcus Frucknick, though, to fend off, and Marcus, we know, has those fresher tires than what Jared Rexing did. So can Marcus Frucknick make a move with 4 laps to go? He's going to certainly try for it here down into turns 3 and 4.
Well, what Marcus wants now is a caution, right? As soon as he clears this 31 car, he's going to need to get that, to close that gap. It is over a second up to Josh Robin. This battle is taking far too long for Marcus to be able to make up the ground to Robin. He'll need that caution if he wants any shot at winning this race, but it's not going to play out that way. It looks like Josh Robin's going to have everything go his way here tonight.
Do not say that, because he has not crossed the start-finish line quite yet for Josh Robin. He's coming around turns 1 and 2, I believe, or is that? No. There we go. 1,
there
2,
it
go
is
for Josh Robin, and that, in theory, will secure the fact that there will be no green-white checker, and for around 3 and 4, the SMRI Productions number 8 car will win the SMRI Productions night race here at Bristol. Josh Robin victorious, and Gerald Campbell holds on by Marcus Frucknick grabs second place from Gerald Campbell by 6 thousandths of a second.
Oh man, we'll hit the iRace Online replay one more time for the finish between Robin and Frucknick and Campbell, the only other 2 guys who were involved. And just that close to the line for second spot.
Great battle there for second place, and yeah, great job by Marcus Frucknick to just edge out Gerald Campbell. Great job for Gerald Campbell to get another strong result here at a short track, that 31 car. Their short track program has been pretty solid so far. Top 3 in Milwaukee, top 3 here tonight at Bristol.
You see the celebration. Heck, you could see the net code from that 31 car into the back of the 8. So much room additionally to these cars. Been a nightmare pretty much throughout the night, but we did only end up with 32 cautions, which was, 2 more than I expected? So, that's about what it takes.
Yeah. As Josh Robin enjoys this victory, we'll bring in one of his team owners here and third place finisher Gerald Campbell. Gerald, great run here, man. You're really getting these short tracks nailed down. A good result at Milwaukee, a good result here at Bristol. Maybe not winning speed. We heard you had some engine damage in the second half of that race, but must be happy with the third place.
Yeah, I'm just happy to finish at the end there with how hard we were racing. So yeah, definitely a great run, great win for Josh. I'm happy that he was able to get it. He definitely earned that with how much he was working on that. But no, that was exciting.
Gerald, I think you mentioned to Sam that you might have had some engine damage earlier in the race. Did that really play a factor in you not being able to hold on to the second spot and challenge for the win there coming down to the end?
Only thing I had was tires and a prayer. I didn't have much of anything else on that car. I was down a good 70 horsepower, so I didn't have anything. I was good on a very short run because I could just almost full throttle it around the turns, which was helpful. But once the tires wore down, because doing that really wears down the tires, if you can believe it or not. But at that point, it was just try to hang on. I knew I didn't have anything. It would have been pointless to try to get side by side with Robin there. So our strategy was just try to get out front as far as we could. If it so happened to be that we're all by ourselves, I would have probably maybe made a run at him. But no, he just took off from me, and then I just got there and I did all the hard work. I did all the hard work holding up the 13 with new tires. So like to thank them. 13 and 10 raced me very clean with me being a drivable roadblock at the end there. So, a lot of people would have probably just put the bumper. So yeah, thank you for them. So I'm happy. I got another good run for my chase hopes here.
Yeah, absolutely. And before we let you go here, man, I wanted to give you a chance to do a couple of quick shout-outs. before we let you go. Enjoy another third place finish here at a short track.
Yeah, thanks to PRC, we're a great group of guys. We enjoy each other's company more than anything, so always enjoy racing with them. Thank you to the Diecast dude. I got to do another shout out to his Twitter page and everything. Go follow him. He's always got a lot of great things going on about diecast and things such as that. This car probably won't make a diecast. You'd have to take a hammer to it. But yeah, other than that, thank you guys. Yeah, I'm gonna go to sleep, man. I'm tired.
Oh man, I don't blame you. Great race tonight, man.
Thank you guys. Have a good one.
All right, your third place finisher there, Gerald Campbell. We'll talk to then our second place finisher now, Marcus Frucknicht. Marcus, man, you had those fresh tires. Thought you might have been able to get it if we had a long run there at the end, but not quite. But you did just edge out Gerald Campbell for second place. Must still be pretty happy with the result overall.
Oh, for sure. Definitely happy with the second. It was more of a survival tonight, honestly. We did have a couple long green flag runs, and I definitely struggled. I just could not save the right front tire. I just was burning it down. But I don't know. I definitely had short run speed. I was hoping maybe pitting there late with, I don't know, having 15-lap fresher tires. I might have been able to give Josh a run for his money, but he was by far the best car tonight. He had the long run speed. Him and Rexing were the two to beat, I would say, in my opinion. But I don't know. Just got lucky with the lanes at the end and did what I could.
Yeah, Marcus, did you ever think maybe one of those times where you were kind of off sequence with the 8 and the 10? Did you ever think maybe that trying to be on sequence with them would have helped you, or were you not going to be able to get up to that 8 car without the benefit of the fresh tires?
Honestly, I almost needed to be on like fresher tires than them all the time. Anytime, like I said, if I had like that long green flag run, I just couldn't figure it out. I couldn't figure out how to save the tire. I was just burning it up too much, so it just killed my long run speed. And they were obviously, everybody's good when you have fresh tires, but they were just able to save the tire better and were able to just track me back down so quick. Yeah, I could run if I had the lead. I could run away for 40, 50 laps, but after that, I was just backing up. Big brake lights on.
All right, man. Well, still a good result in the end there, and definitely should be proud of that result. Before we let you go, we want to give you a chance to give any shout-outs.
Yeah, it was definitely a good run. I just got to thank Ryan Lutz Designs for the paint scheme, Spotter Wilkes, Sean Waddell Communications, best radio guy in the Northeast, and just a overall decent run for our Lake Norman Motorsports guys. A couple of us had tough luck, but at least some of us were able to still salvage something out of the night.
All right, man. Well, congratulations on the second, and have a good night. Enjoy the rest.
Yeah, I will. I'll see you. Hopefully, I'll see you guys again next week.
Yes, sir. Marcus Frucknicht, your second place finisher, and we'll bring in race winner Josh Robin, the SMRI Productions car in victory lane for the SMRI Productions Night Race. Man, congratulations. What a drive tonight.
Yeah, man, what a race. Yeah, we took an EOL at the start of the race because I think I was having some connection issues, but so I wanted to play safe there. And my goal was to just keep it clean, avoid the wrecks and all that. We did pretty much just that, and just let it unfold, and we were there.
Yeah, Josh, you were out front for 166 laps, and when I know you got spun out one time there, did you ever kind of panic and worry that kind of ruined your speed?
No, not really. Because I didn't really crash that hard, so I was like, figured that the damage wasn't too bad, and my RPMs were still at 2,000, so yeah, I wasn't really concerned about that.
All right, well, Josh, I mean, talk us through this time, getting the chance to now go chase racing. Obviously, a crown jewel win is a massive deal, but this throws you into the chase. You're going to be able to fight for a championship. How does this change your outlook for the rest of this regular season?
Just keep racing how I usually race and try to get more wins and just, try to beat the field.
Well, Josh, and do you have any shout outs for us to finish off the night here? 500 laps at Bristol, you got to be tired. So I know celebrating might help you, but I'm sure you're as exhausted as everybody else.
Oh yeah, man. I'm excited to get to bed here real soon, but yeah, shout out to my team, PRC Esports, um, my sponsor, SMRI Productions, um, to all the admins that keep this league going, and Chad, and everybody else that showed up to put on a pretty good race. A lot of action.
That's certainly
Oh,
the case, man. Nope.
no fault to Gerald for, helping me a bit on that last.
He sure did.
That's what teammates are for. Absolutely, man. Well, congratulations, great win there, man. A crown jewel victory, and definitely get some rest and enjoy this one.
Yep.
All right, Josh Robin, your race winner, and with that, 3 hours 43 minutes into this broadcast. David, you're a trooper.
Oh, I did my best. I like this stuff, man. It's fun. I like talking about racing. Anytime I can do something like this, it's a pleasure, even if it's one of those races that just ends up with a lot of cautions. But I was expecting that going into this one. It's Bristol. It's tough to manage. So I don't think that there's any sort of takeaway we can really bother with besides issuing good jobs to guys we've been issuing all night. I mean, top 10 runs for Johnny Thomas, Josh Personette, Z Shunter, Richard Hines, and Harrison Talon. Great runs all around. And, as I'll toggle through the results here as we kind of close out of this. The Do Good guys ended up finishing 15th and 16th. And, maybe the last thing here is who did you want to win the pain of the race? Maybe Tyler Dixon or Ryan Lutz?
Let's go for that 36 car. Ryan Lutz that was a nice looking car. Obviously, I didn't get a chance to see that front bumper, but definitely a fan of those. I think he brings a new scheme to every race, so a unique one again for this Bristol Night Race, and you definitely hit the nail on the head there with just how nice it looked under the lights. So 36 car Ryan Lutz is your KNP Graphics paint of the race.
Yep, I think that's a good call there, and we'll have to see if we can't watch that Tyler Dixon car in the future. That one was also real pretty.
Yeah.
Scrolling through the results, though, I'm sure you've seen it. Our guy, Josh Clark, clawed his way back to 24th. Did a great job keeping it up. He was 160 laps down to the end of the race, but he kept on the track, and he was 5 laps away from being able to make 23rd. So I think that's a great job of perseverance. And then we see the final bit of the results tonight. Matthew Weeks able to put that result together due to his win in the Daytona 500. RC Anderson too.
Absolutely. You're really enjoying the fact that you won your way into the chase at that point, because if you had to be scoring points here tonight, you're in a rough situation. But I mean, great racing by a lot of these guys. Definitely more cautions than we'd like to see for sure, but we had a couple of good green flag runs, and the respect level really went up as the race went on.
Yep, for sure. I think the Elite Racing League is full of really good drivers, but it's also full of amateur drivers, and I think that shows tonight. And we can only expect so much. I'm not terribly concerned with this one. I think I was absolutely kind of livid at Milwaukee. A lot of those contacts seemed unavoidable or very avoidable, and tonight a lot more net code, a lot more of those kind of coming off the wall into the wrong spot type of deals. Guys spinning it off the corner, I'll never have an issue with that. That's just racing. It's difficult especially to run this great Coliseum racetrack. So with that, I think I'm good to go, and we'll see you guys next week. And tune into I think Friday night for IndyCar, and then Sunday for. I think we're off on Sunday for the trucks.
Yes, sir. You got that right. We're doing the US 500, the Wood Motorsports US 500 Friday night. Myself, Mark Gillespie, will be bringing you guys the call for that race. Definitely tune in. Michigan, 500 laps in IndyCars. That's going to be one heck of a race. So, from David Westergreen, who really just kind of man worked it out here for 3 hours 47 minutes. Running Productions, big shout out to him, and myself, Rishabh Khosla, joining a little bit later in the booth, and of course Sam Dyer, who is our pit lane reporter tonight. You've been watching the Elite Racing Network, the JoinAPS Cup Series, and the SMRI Productions. Night Race at Bristol Motor Speedway. Thank you all so much for watching here tonight.